Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4PlayerNetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4Player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy. Welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 536. It is January 25th? Damn it. No, yeah, it's the 25th. Oh! No one was wrong.
The double psych out!
That's correct. It is January 25th, 2018.
I mean, it depends on where you're at.
Jesus. Shut up, no. No one was wrong. I was right.
It happens sometimes.
My name is Nick Henderson. I'll be hosting this evening. I am joined... Shh, Krispy. Shh. Shut your mouth. I am joined this evening by Brad Simons.
Hello.
No, Brad, you can't do this.
It's me. I was just goofing.
Nolan Hedstrom.
How's it going, everybody?
And Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
How's everybody doing this wonderful evening?
So, can I start things off by just saying, a new person joined my team at work.
What?
Calm yourself,
Okay.
Nick. 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
We're having lunch the other day, and one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, what'd you do over the weekend?" And I was like, "I had to record some audio from the podcast." And he was like, "Oh, are you Nolan from 4Player Podcast?"
What?
And I was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Yeah, I used to listen to you guys." And I was
Used to.
And he was like, "Yeah, well,
That's everybody.
Yeah, he got busy with school. He got like a PhD and shit.
He got too busy
Yeah.
So
to
did
put
everybody
earbuds
else.
in his ears, calling
still,
you out.
It was just weird that he was like, I thought he was gonna be like, "Oh, you do a podcast? That's cool." As I talked to him, he's like, "Oh, I play video games and blah 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 and board games." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I didn't mention the podcast though. I'm just, "Oh, you're Nolan from 4Player Podcast? What the fuck?"
It happens every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's
nice.
just weird when it's like a coworker.
Yeah, that's a little strange. 'Cause then you got to see that guy every day.
Yep.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? Brad, you're still technically on hiatus, so you are joining us this evening to talk about.
I don't even know why I'm here. I'm here.
You are bringing very important coverage of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which we haven't had a chance to talk about on our show yet.
Somebody's got to talk about it.
And this
It's
was
a big Switch game.
Dude, I want to play it. I just want to fucking.
Did you know Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was like the 14th best-selling game of the year or something crazy like that?
Really?
The year's only
It
like
came out in
3
December,
weeks
didn't it?
old. Yeah. Weird.
No, it came out December.
Maybe I got bad information.
Was
But
it?
I was listening to a podcast.
Maybe the 14th best in December.
No.
That would
Yeah,
make more sense.
maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Or maybe it was proportional. Like
I
it came
Googled
out.
it.
It's
but I
the
don't have a phone.
best-selling game of the year so far. Maybe it was in December.
Yeah. Someone Google that. I don't have a
That
phone.
would certainly make way more sense.
Well, Switch software has been really crazy.
That is true. People are dying to play games on their Switch. So yeah, you'll be talking about some Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is honestly this is probably the best week for it, considering next week we actually have a bunch of new stuff to talk about, including Dragon Ball will be out next week. I think we're probably going to talk about Subnautica, maybe.
Unfortunately,
actually.
probably will.
I'm actually really happy I didn't start playing that game.
I say unfortunately because about an hour before the podcast started, I was like, I'll boot it up just to see what son of a bitch.
Damn.
And I ended up playing until I had to get off because Chris Davis had to get ready for the show.
Yeah, that'll happen, I'm sure. So, we'll talk about those games this next week. But tonight we have like I said, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Impatient, among other things that we'll be discussing. So, but before we do that, of course, I want to read some feedback from last week. While he pulls it up, I want to remind everybody out there listening to our show that, one, you can join our community Discord. We'd love to have each and every one of you in our Discord. It's discord.gg/4player. We have all kinds of wonderful people in there joining us all the time to talk about games and all kinds of weird shit. Literally, there's some weird shit in there, and it's great. We'd love to have you in there. Yeah, we should have a weird shit room. I bet it'd be full of all kinds of stuff. Also, reminder to everybody, anyone who supports us on Patreon, I did recently send out a new batch of, I placed a new batch of orders for mugs. So if you are supporting us at the $15 tier or higher and have not yet received a mug, you should be receiving it soon. So keep your eye on your mailbox for that. But first, before we get too far, I want to read some feedback from last week. Not a whole lot from last week, but
Well, we had 3 comments.
do we have 3, Krispy?
We had 3 comments.
Yeah, what's that first one there say? I think it makes a pretty good point.
So
could you
first
read that for
comment
us?
from Chris Guthridge
Oh, who's that guy?
said, "First regular show of 2018? Question mark."
PSSSHHH.
Was it worth it?
And then he dropped a link.
Having to
What
figure
could
out
that
how to
link
log
be?
in just to post that comment.
How long did that take?
No, what are you doing, Chris Davis?
What the fuck are you doing?
The only reason why that comment was made was because when I clicked the login button, Firefox still had my password saved.
And you're like,
I had to
thank
tell.
God.
I had to
Oh, there we go.
So, yeah, I wonder what that link could be. If you're curious about it, you can find it on the comments for episode 535.
Yeah, I think it's the first regular podcast episode of 2018.
Yeah, regular podcast of 2018.
Capital R.
Maybe check that out if you're interested. Sean Gillies says, just one thing. I've been listening to some podcasts lately, and I noticed a lot of people on other shows, when they write in feedback or comments or questions, whatever, they like to say where they're from. I don't really push that very often, but I feel like it's really interesting. to see
We
where people,
used to.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Obviously, we
I
get that
used to do it
occasionally.
when we used to do Chatter of the Week.
Yeah.
I always said where they were from.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there. Anybody out there who leaves a feedback for an episode or a question on Patreon, tell us who you are and where you're from. I'd just be interested to find out where everybody's from.
Maybe tell us your greatest fear.
I always love when people say they're like, I'm from Sweden or something. It's like, oh
Is
my
that
God.
how you spell Kincaid?
Yes.
Oh,
Really? I always pictured something different in my
from
head.
Kincaid.
That looks like
West Virginia.
Kinkaid.
What was his name again?
Yeah.
Chris Thacker!
Chris Thacker.
Thacker.
I have
Come
it
on.
tattooed on my
West
ass.
We have never. Chris Thacker probably has not listened to our podcast in years, but he little does he know his name and where he lives gets brought up like multiple times on our podcast throughout the year.
Did I ever tell
Still.
you about the time where I came across his name on the internet in some like random place, maybe not even associated with video games?
It's probably Pornhub.
But you don't know it was the
Do you
same.
think it was him?
No, I think it was because I think it was he was from West Virginia.
Well,
Chris Thacker.
if anyone knows Chris Thacker, if this somehow
It
gets
was an obit.
if this somehow gets to Chris Thacker,
tell him we miss him.
tell him we miss him.
Don't stop on by.
Yeah, tell him to stop by and say hi.
No, yeah, I think it was Twitter. It was Chris Thacker, and he had his own video game podcast or something. Some shit like that. I can't.
Son of a bitch.
I'm gonna have to figure this out.
Dishwasher in chat says I used to work with a guy named Chris Thacker.
You can find him. How many people could be in Kincaid, West Virginia? Find him.
Anyways, yeah,
Kidnap him.
just saying, if you want us to talk about you in the same creepy way we're talking about Chris Thacker,
So we
maybe
can-
let us know your name and where you're from. It's just really interesting to know.
so we can kidnap you.
All right, no one's ever going to tell us where they're from ever again. Anyways, Sean Gillies says, regarding Persona 5, this is actually to me because I've been playing Persona 5. Tip for Nick, regarding Persona 5, in the evening of the day you decide to send the calling card, when Morgana confines you to your room, no matter what actions you took that day, you will be able to craft tools. It's basically a free action, so don't forget to take it. That is true. I brought this up last week because
Yeah, it's
Morgana-
very rare that you get to do it.
Morgana's pissing me off. Does that continue throughout the game?
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, Nick. By the way, I was at the 30-something hour mark, and a tutorial popped up.
Motherfucker.
After class one day, tutorial popped up. I wanted to take a screenshot, but I can't because that's fucking Persona 5.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Where does the that restriction on?
I don't think it does.
Oh,
Yeah, the game's just dumb.
That's what phones are for.
Yeah, I know. I could have hooked up my thing to my capture card and done all this, but I was like, whatever.
fuck it. But yeah, so that part still is very annoying to me. I'm kind of bummed that continues to.
The other
crop
thing
up.
that might bum you out about that, Nick, is you might not know, is normally you can craft like multiple things.
Yeah.
There's like a % chance that you can do even one extra, but it's like random
Yeah.
if it happens. Which
Is that boosted by having a confidant?
I don't think so.
Oh, that sucks. Chai Tai, who gifted us these lovely Bean Boozled beans that we tried before the show, says, I need to make a correction to Nick's statement on the podcast last week. It's a glaring error. Bible Black is not the hentai with the weird tentacles. It is in fact the hentai where all the ladies can grow dude parts.
What?
I forgot. He is right.
Really?
Someone
not
asked me what
interested
Bible Black
unless
was.
they're
I said
like-
tentacle porn. I forgot. It's the one where like
What do you
penises
mean grow dude parts?
like penises will come out of their vagina.
Just the vagina, though?
I don't know.
When he said grow dude parts, I thought it meant like out of like random places.
Oh,
like out
no,
of
no,
like
no,
a nipple,
no.
like a penis. Just
I'm only
pops out
interested
of
in
it.
if they're unless they're like 2 foot dude parts.
well,
They're
I
not
mean,
at least 2 feet. I'm not interested.
I can't remember. I can't remember
they're
what it
pretty
was.
big.
But I remember watching this trailer or something. It was like maybe a synopsis or something of this Japanese movie, and this girl, like, her vagina turned into like a crocodile, but then it kept growing, and it was like essentially both of her legs were like the
jaws?
the
The
jaws
mandibles?
of a crocodile, and she was like laying on the ground, like snapping her
That
legs.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
It's like the
but and honestly, that was probably one of the tamer parts of that movie.
it's like the natural evolution of the movie Teeth.
Is it though?
Yeah, it's like
I don't know about that.
That's the
Just
next
more teeth.
That's the inevitable
the
solution.
teeth just keep on coming.
That's the inevitable sequel. We'll get it
Yeah.
one day. Anyways, that's all the feedback we have for.
Yes,
this
thank you.
episode.
Hold on. Tokyo Deputy Dangle. The movie was Tokyo Gore Police. That was the name of the movie.
No matter what kind of weird shit we bring up, somebody
Someone
in chat
knows.
knows what we're talking about. It's wonderful. But anyways, yes, thank you guys so much for your feedback. Of course, if you would like to leave feedback for this episode, comment on anything that we talk about on the show, please leave us a comment at 4playernetwork.com, and we will read it at the beginning of next week's episode. And of course, that enters you in the drawing for the monthly giveaway. What was that? Who you flicking off, Brad?
The Oscars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck the Oscars.
Fuck the Oscars.
I cannot believe I am so perturbed by the whole Blade Runner getting snubbed. I know it's
Nick,
not.
it happens every year.
I know.
They
but
made their
Something
choice.
that deserves it gets snubbed.
I feel like it's like. I mean,
No, I mean they made their choice.
You know what else
it-
is on? You know what is a
was Get
nominee
Out.
though?
what?
Boss Baby.
Not best
Not
picture.
not
though.
best picture.
No,
but Nick,
Blade-
the fact is, Boss Baby could come out of the Oscars with an Oscar,
And Blade Runner.
and Blade Runner might not.
Yeah.
Oh.
That just hurts my
Man,
soul.
fuck the Oscars.
No, but I mean, like, listen, they've kind of opened up when they added the 10 nominees.
Yeah.
They kind of opened the doors for letting in a movie like that maybe slip in, but they can't do like too many of them. You know,
But, like-
I feel like Get Out was the one that slipped
But
in
what?
this
But
year.
what exactly about Blade Runner like precludes it from being like Oscar worthy? I don't understand.
I mean,
Like it's
Well,
a
Oscars are
it's
much
a
of old white
genre
people.
film,
Yeah.
which traditionally don't win Oscars
Exactly.
except for technical awards.
Exactly,
well, at least it got nominated for all the technical awards. I'm sure it'll take
Yeah.
home something.
for sure.
But goddamn, that movie is like. I don't think that movie is a genre movie because I think it just as a standalone movie.
It's transcendent.
Yeah, that movie's fucking good.
The Shape
pretty
of
good,
Water
man.
was good.
I did like Shape of Water.
You know what was so
Didn't like watching it with
You
the
know what's-
company I was with.
That movie is oddly divisive. It seems like.
Well, here's the thing.
I hear a lot of people say I love Shape of Water, and I hear a lot of people say that movie was way too overblown.
Those people just can't get on board with like trans species sex. I think.
No, but I mean like people whose opinions like I trust them.
Well, maybe you shouldn't trust those people.
I do. I had a thought. Oh no, I remember before Shape of Water came out. Like sometimes you'll get like early reviews coming on like Rotten Tomatoes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like I think it was like a week, maybe a week and a half before it actually, went widespread in theaters. And it was sitting at like a 60% or less or something on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, "Ugh, that doesn't look like it's gonna be very good." And then it hit theaters, and boom, now it's like 94%.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it, it had like 20.
I will just
reviews
say-
or something.
There is no place in this world where an apartment above a movie theater would have the craftsmanship of a bathroom
Listen, obviously,
to be able to hold water.
that scene was. I mean, come on.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was.
But I do
kind
want
of
to
a-
see the movie.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Me neither.
Robin saw it. I didn't see it.
Who
What
did
did
she
she
see it
think?
with? Her other
I
boyfriend?
mean, she went with she. No. I'm not gonna go. She went with her friend to see it.
Who is her
Monica. She went with her friend Monica to see it.
Oh, her girlfriend.
Yeah, it's her
Gotcha.
girlfriend.
Nick,
What
you
did
do
she
realize
think?
that movie opens with a woman
Yeah.
masturbating
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you told me.
What
You
did
told
she,
me.
What did she think?
They loved it.
Okay.
together. I'm just kidding.
Oh man. So
I'm just
I do
busting
wanna
your
see
fish
it, though.
balls.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Fish balls.
Yeah. He's like a fish.
Anyone else see? I saw Jumanji on
Jumanji?
Crispy's
wanna
recommendation
watch
last week.
Jumanji.
That movie is way
it's
better.
It's kind of fun, right?
I could not stop smiling that entire movie.
God damn it! I want to watch it.
Good.
I'm gonna try and go see it this weekend.
It is.
I'm a
way
little
better.
upset at myself for liking it as much as I do.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I was gonna watch it, but I ended up watching Molly's Game last weekend.
How was
Which is
that?
the Aaron Sorkin written and directed by movie about Molly Bloom. Bloom? What? No. What? Molly Bloom, I think. From the 90s. When was it? Runs a poker thing, whatever. Pretty good movie.
The most expensive poker game.
Yeah, or whatever. I really liked it. Funny thing is though, at the end of the movie, there was like all this stuff about like, oh, and she had to pay like $300,000 or something, and like Bernadette looked it up. Her fine was like $1,000.
What?
That's quite a.
I feel like Jessica Chastain sounds a lot like her voice sounds a lot like Jennifer Garner.
I can see it.
It's weird.
You mean hear it?
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, hear it.
So I don't get out much, so I have to kind of watch stuff in the house. But I recommend a nice double feature. One's a show, one's a movie. Super Dark Times and The End of the Fucking World, which is a show.
Yeah, you like that?
I watched like 5 episodes.
I saw the trailer and I
liked it.
wasn't feeling it.
The trailer's very... I think it gives a false impression of maybe where it goes.
Okay.
Like, it's kind of like surprisingly
It's on
tender
Netflix, right?
coming-of-age story.
Yeah.
But it also gets like progressively more and more like depraved and like desperate as it goes.
No.
Really? That's what the reviews I've read said, that like each episode is just like things get more fucked up.
How
and
many
more
episodes
fucked up and more
have I
fucked up.
watched? I mean, shit is getting bad, but there's growth from the characters. And then Super Dark Times, which is just dark. And they both like pretty much feature sociopaths.
Oh,
so
you might like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Dexter-esque.
I think maybe, yeah.
I'm just rolling my eyes.
What has
That's
Michael C.
exactly
Hall
what-
been doing lately?
He did something on Broadway. He's also going to be in The Crown.
I love how Nick knows everything Michael C. Hall does.
You asked the question, I'm answering it.
Nick had an answer right away.
No, I keep tabs on that
Just
shit,
in
man.
case one day he's like, oh, and we're doing another
No,
season
there
of
is
Dexter.
Showtime is like very open about like they intend to return to that show in some form at some point, and like I have my finger
I bet they
on the
do.
pulse about Michael C. Hall and his feelings on that
What
whole
do you have
thing.
for dinner tonight, Nick?
You shut up, Chris Davis. I don't know what Michael C. Hall had for dinner.
All right, let's talk about video games.
He didn't tweet about it. Okay. Let's talk about video games. Let's do that. Yeah.
Quick recap from me. No footage. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, The Champion's Ballad, DLC. Such a fucking mouthful. I finished it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you get your motorbike?
I got my motorbike.
How is the motorbike?
It's actually kind of cool.
But don't you wish, like what Nick said last week,
Yes.
that you
He
get
did
it
listen.
before the
Yes,
DLC
no, I
started?
100% agree because that's literally as soon as you beat the DLC is when you unlock it. And it's like, but I'm done.
Yeah, stupid.
The other thing I'll say, the DLC didn't get too much better. The shrines were cool.
Yeah.
The boss fights were the same.
Boo.
There is a final boss fight. So I will say that the final dungeon of it is probably one of the best dungeons in the game.
So there's a real dungeon. You just got to do a bunch of bullshit before you get there.
Kind of.
Because I
mean,
started it, but
that
I
being
wasn't
said,
too fond of the
that being
one-hit.
said, it's
Yes.
still the same style dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff you do in there's kind of cool. There is a final boss who's okay, I guess.
Is it Ganon?
No, actually, it's not surprisingly.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting what the final boss is. I'm not going to spoil it. But then you do get your motorbike,
And then you put the
and I spent some time kind of because I have a stable full of horses.
as one
and-
does.
Yeah, and I wanted to I got a special saddle. I was like, I'll put it on Epona. Can't put special saddles on Epona.
Putting on Zelda.
So,
I named mine Zelda.
Oh, really?
My horse.
My first one is named 8 = capital D. My second one is named Dick Butt. My third one is that giant horse that you get.
Yeah.
And his name's Hung. And then I have Epona. You can't put the special saddle on Epona. You can't put the special saddle on Hung, and you can't put the special saddle on.
So who can you put the saddle
Just
on?
any other like regular horse that you find in the game.
I have Zelda and fuckface.
Nice. But anyway, so I
Both ends
finished
of
the
the
DLC.
spectrum.
The DLC is good. It's definitely worth the price. Especially if you enjoy Breath of the Wild.
It's
it is
$20 for both of them, right?
Yeah, correct. It's definitely worth it. I enjoyed my time with it. Like Brad was saying, I honestly wish I would have gotten that DLC like first thing in the game and been able to do that so I could ride that motorcycle around the whole game because it is something that you can summon it whenever. It's like one of your special abilities, like bombs or whatever. It's just you flick up, you summon it, it appears, you hop on, you ride off.
If you were in fact someone who wanted to maybe say find all 120 shrines and you hadn't done so yet,
It might be
now you have an easy way of
Yeah,
traversing.
I guess.
Only weirdies obsess over that.
Yeah.
While
Go for it, Brad. I'm done.
other Switch players move on to new, fresh new games like Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
You've been playing a shit ton of this.
A lot of people bought
Chris Davis,
Switches
stop
this
typing.
year, right? A lot of people bought Switches this year.
Yes,
Put up
they've,
the title
Davis,
for
you gotta
Xenoblade.
focus, man.
they've been having a very good year.
They've been having
There
a
you
very
go.
good year, but I feel like, it's like, oh, I got the new Mario Kart, which, is already out. Or, I feel like not a lot of people picked up Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Brad,
I
want
feel
to.
like, I
want to
know.
so bad.
I know, but what happened? What happened? I mean, come on. They kind of hit out of the park with that first year, right?
Yeah.
Right. At least that's what people say.
Yeah.
So support Brad. They make money from the software. Buy Xenoblade.
Do you know how many good games are out?
No, I know, but we're talking about December.
You gotta fucking choose.
Oh,
Brad,
man.
do you know how many good games came out in 2017 that I hadn't even started by the time December started?
It is. I will say this:
Many?
it is nice to have. It is
Yes,
always
many
nice
is
to
the
have
answer.
something on retainer to play on your Switch.
Sure.
But this is also
I'm not necessarily recommending it to you guys necessarily, but it is a first-party Switch exclusive game from Nintendo, and Xenoblade Chronicles, of which this is a sequel to, is a lot of people fillet that game like crazy. Oh, it's the savior of the JRPG. It's literally one of the best JRPGs of all time, which is not really how I felt about Xenoblade Chronicles 1.
didn't someone else in the room play Xenoblade Chronicles 1?
I didn't.
Well, I did.
Okay, yeah.
I only played Xenoblade Chronicles X. Well, the two of us.
I
did.
actually didn't finish Xenoblade Chronicles 1 because I kind of don't have this grand love. Sorry, I was not able to capture footage of this, so we're kind of running this stock footage. But it's nice and long.
That's what she said. Sorry.
I thought we were at least going to cut out that first part, but whatever. So I don't actually have a ton of love for that first Xenoblade Chronicles. I mean, it was nice, it was impressive, but it was mostly kind of a visual thing. These big worlds, that was impressive. But I didn't have a lot of love for the story and the characters, and that was kind of the driving force of that first game.
Yeah,
which
sure.
I think is an aspect that a lot of people loved. And then Xenoblade X comes out.
Wait,
And that-
am I getting? Okay, wait a second.
Wait,
I'm
hold
getting.
on,
I'm
I'm
getting
gonna
Xenoblade.
make it clear. I'm gonna make it clear.
Yeah. Let him
First
explain
one was the
the
Project
timeline
Rainfall,
of
the
games.
Wii game, Xenoblade Chronicles, right? Xenoblade X was the one that came out on the Wii U. That's the one with the big one single open world where you're in mechs
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
flying around and stuff.
So I thought this was a sequel to that.
No. This is a sequel to Xenoblade
That was like a
Chronicles.
spin-off.
I don't
of
even know what's
Xenoblade
happening, apparently.
Chronicles. Yeah,
No,
that's
see, that's the thing. No one. I feel like no one fucking does because no one is paying attention
Brad.
to this game.
It's because the names are fucking confusing.
I mean,
If you're not a fan of the series, it can get kind
I
of
literally thought there was only one game with Xenoblade. I thought Xenoblade. I thought the one on the Wii and the one on the Wii U were the same fucking thing. I
that's
forgot.
so fucking weird. But I mean, whatever. That's fine. I mean, most people I don't think made your mistake.
It's like for the longest time I always confused Shin Megami Tensei and Shin Megami Tensei Persona.
yeah.
Like,
But,
why
I
didn't
mean-
you just call that one Persona?
And
Why
then,
do you
and
need
then it
Shin
gets
Megami
confusing.
Tensei?
They eventually stopped calling Persona Shin Megami Tensei.
Well,
Exactly.
because in Japan it was not officially Shin Megami Tensei, even though everything in that series or franchise is the same shit. But whatever. Okay, so Xenoblade Chronicles, the Wii game, much more story driven, much more linear. Xenoblade X, big, huge open world, mechs flying, alien planet-y kind of looking,
Yeah.
right?
See, that's the one I
You're
remember
using
watching footage
guns and
of.
stuff.
Yeah.
This goes back, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. goes back to the more story-driven, a little more linear. Yeah, I would say even more linear in this one because, well, I mean, not linear in a sense, but it's not that one big giant, Breath of the Wild open world. Remember me talking about that? So Xenoblade X, I did really, really like. That was my game of the year that year, actually. And it was because of that crazy world that you literally just kind of like mapping out as you played the game, and you had these robots that could transform and you could fly around, and I just loved the look of it. I liked the robots, it reminded me of Xenogears and stuff. This one has no fucking robots in it. It is another Xenoblade Chronicles game minus the X. It is back to kind of a story-driven, character-driven game, and it doesn't have a big connected world. Actually, the big difference in this one is that you're on different kind of continents, which are all separate, like, titans that are like moving around the world.
But are those individual environments like...
They're huge.
Okay.
They're huge.
I actually played...
It lets them have like a different look to them, I guess.
I think I actually played a little bit of Xenoblade
original?
Chronicles 1.
Maybe.
And I don't remember the environments in that game being particularly large.
No, they were. But you were on like a single Titan and eventually
That's
a
right.
second Titan for that game. But this one, like, there's like a dozen different Titans in this world. And that...
How many Titans have you ridden?
That aspect of the game is still very impressive. It's those big, beautiful worlds.
It's a legitimate question.
No, I mean, like 6.
Okay, thank you.
5, I don't know.
I was just curious. I mean...
But, what was I saying? Oh, that's still the most impressive shit that I think Monolith Soft does, is create these big, beautiful worlds that are, like, intricately designed, too. Like the actual geometry of the world. Monolith Soft helped with the design of Breath of the Wild's world. Which,
They did?
Yes.
Oh, wait, I remember hearing about
Yeah,
that.
which kind of explains maybe why that world is as amazing as it is. And that's still here. It's just not as impressive as that one big open world from X.
I will say this, I actually, like, just based on what we're seeing here as far as footage goes, like, I'm actually kind of into, like, the way the game looks. It's very bright, it's vibrant. I like as crazy anime over the top character designs, or as crazy as the character designs are, I kind of like them.
Yeah.
It's nice looking, but it is only a Switch game, which is like a little more powerful than a Wii U.
Or would you say the footage we're watching is representative of how good the game actually looks, though?
I mean, you're not really seeing like the kind of frame rate issues that you might have playing the game. This is a trailer, unfortunately, put out by Nintendo, or footage put out by Nintendo. There are like some frame rate hitching and stuff, which is a little frustrating. Monolith.
Going back to the frame rate issue, are you playing handheld or docked? Or both?
I mean, mostly docked.
Okay.
This game actually does something really horrific, and it's not good in handheld because it drops the resolution so low, which I don't actually quite understand why it would do that.
It doesn't have the additional power it needs. They lower the processor so it can not destroy the battery life, which means it can't.
But like Zelda didn't do that. Zelda looked better in handheld.
It was
mode.
optimized.
So
Probably
it's just
better.
not as
But I'm saying
my assumption.
they boosted. It doesn't.
We don't need to go into the technical details.
So the surprising thing for me with this game is that what is driving me through this game is not like the aspects that I loved of Xenoblade X. Mm-hmm. It's not the world, and it's not just kind of the freedom that you have. You don't have that in this game. What's driving me forward through this game is the story, is the characters. The stuff that people liked about that first Xenoblade Chronicles that I didn't like is the stuff I like about this game. I think they do that stuff better than that first Xenoblade Chronicles. I think there's a lot more personality to the characters in the cast. It's better written. It's funnier.
I think that would make this particular game appeal to someone like me more than maybe the last one did.
Sure, but it still has a lot of the weird, awkward things that Monolith Soft always does. I kind of compare them a little bit to like CD Projekt Red, where they do a certain aspect of it so good. Like creating that world, like look at CD Projekt Red. They create this amazing world. They do these amazing side quests, writing, beautiful, whatever the fuck, right? But like a lot of people don't really like the combat system or the skill system. The loot system isn't as crunchy as it is in other games,
Those are the weaker
right?
points of the game. Yes.
Yeah. So like Monolith Soft, obviously they're very skilled at doing certain aspects like creating amazing worlds, but like their skill systems always suck. Their combat systems are always super awkward, and you eventually get the hang of it, and you're like, okay, I see what they're doing here. This isn't so bad, but there's still so many extra layers of like convoluted bullshit mucking it up that is just showing them that they're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and hoping some of this shit sticks. And some
instead of cherry picking what actually works.
Well, like they really need like a systems editor who would like clean the shit up.
Sounds like you're applying for a job.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that's what CD Projekt Red needs. I'm terrified going into Cyberpunk because there is something very core to all three Witcher games that they have not figured out. That unless someone tells them, which no one is, because people can't stop filleting The Witcher 3, they're going to make the same fucking mistakes. But that's a different conversation. So it's awkward. You know, like the systems, like the battle system is kind of strange. I think it's a little bit better than it was in the last two games, but honestly, I thought the combat was really bad in the last two games. It's a little sluggish in this one, surprisingly sluggish, but there's some neat ideas with like elemental combos and stuff. I'd say, as far as another highlight beyond the story and the characters, it is that there's all these things called rare blades. Now, you've probably heard me or other people talk about blades and getting rare blades. Blades are kind of just like your weapon is tied to a companion that is kind of partnered with you in battle, and that they also have a certain element. So when, like, see behind her,
like
the red lady,
Yeah.
that is his blade, which dictates the sword that he's using and the element, which is fire. You could switch between 3 different blades in battle per character, of which you're only really controlling one.
Like in mid-combat?
You could switch them on the fly, and you need to switch them on the fly because it's all about doing these like elemental combos and stuff. And that aspect is cool, but they have this extra layer to it where you're spawning blades from these crystals, right? But you have a small chance of spawning a rare blade. Now, a rare blade is a companion that has a personality, has like a voice actor. It has.
I think I know where this is.
It has like side quests, right?
Sure.
Even has like their own side quests attached to them, and each different rare blade is done by like a different artist too, like a different anime, video game artist. So you'll see a lot of disparate art styles with the different blades. So it leads to some really weird looking kind of like, this doesn't really fit this game looks to some of the characters, but I kind of like that variety. And of course, one of them is like the rarest blade in the game is Cosmos from Xenosaga, which I absolutely adore Cosmos. I really like the Xenosaga series. It's obviously the same studio, Monolith Soft.
Did you used to get that blade, or is this something you've read
No,
about?
I haven't gotten Cosmos yet. And the style of spawning these blades is very much a gacha system.
Gotcha.
Is what they call it.
Wait, they actually call it that?
Well, no, they don't call it in the game. It's what people are calling it because it's very much styled after like a Japanese mobile game in the way you kind of get rare characters in those games. Like, did y'all ever try the Fire Emblem gacha game?
Nope.
The mobile one?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
didn't Krispy?
Where it's like
just Brad.
You really want this one rare character, but you're going to get a lot of characters you don't care about on the way to like hopefully eventually getting that character.
Sure.
It's not very predatory here because there's no real money element to it. It's just kind of styled after that gacha system, but if anything, it kind of makes it. You kind of have the addictive qualities of that without the threat of spending real world money, and without I think another big problem with gacha games is that there's no real like game beyond that, or like the gameplay kind of sucks, and it's like, why am I even playing this? I just want the rare thing. Here, you're still getting this big, fully featured RPG with a cool story, with interesting characters, which say what you will about the way some of them look.
I think it's leading into the.
I mean, have they ever seen pants before?
So wait, you see
They're
see
all
those
wearing
two.
assless
That I would
You
chaps.
see
never
those
want
two
them
rare
to.
blades up there on the screen?
Yes.
Like the one on the left and the one on the right. Very different art styles,
Yeah.
but that's because they're designed by different artists.
That's actually kind of cool, though.
Yeah. There's two more too. Like the one on the left is like fucking weird 90s looking. Anyway, like I'm enjoying this game way more than I expected because I knew that this game did not have those elements of Xenoblade X that I really enjoyed, and I didn't expect to be hooked on that the aspects that I am hooked, the story, the characters.
How much time have you put into this so far?
I have no idea because this game does a really bad job of like tracking your hours.
Yeah.
And it says like I've played 160 hours, and that's obviously not true.
Yeah.
I'm only on chapter like 5 or 6. Sometimes your Switch doesn't think it powered down or some shit, and
maybe
I'm wondering if that with any of y'all Switch games.
Well, the thing is, I'm wondering if you don't manually go into like the power settings and tell it to go to sleep, and you just you can tap the button on the top to have the screen turn off. I'm wondering if that's actually still counting time.
That sleeps.
Well, but it's been fucking up in this game at least, and I've heard other people reported that issue.
That might be an issue with the game.
Yeah, possibly, but I actually really hate not being able to track how much time I put into a game.
It's really silly. The thing is, like, I pulled up when I was playing Zelda the other day.
Yeah.
I pulled up my Chris Davis, what are you doing? I pulled up my the menu and I went to my profile and I was like, oh, how many hours am I into Zelda? Like 60? And like it said over 90. And I really don't think that's accurate either. I really don't think I've played Zelda for 90 hours.
Possible. I mean, I think a lot of people put that much time into Zelda.
Because the reason that I also thought about that was because the Hero's Path, they say it's 200 hours long, which would mean I should be around halfway through that, but I'm like maybe a third.
I don't think the Switch is ever...
I really think the Switch's like time tracking is fucking horrible.
I mean... But like, how many systems actually have a really accurate? Unless it's built into the game.
Built into
like,
games,
I don't even think Steam's is very accurate.
Steam's could be better. Yeah.
So,
but it's much better.
It doesn't
than
necessarily
Switch,
surprise me. Like, that's why I think it should be like a default feature in any game out there. Is like when you have a save file, it should tell you how many hours you've played. Because that's almost always accurate.
Yeah. So I recommend this game to people who are looking for a Japanese RPG that is very story and character driven. Like
I mean, I'm looking for something to play on my Switch right now. So I mean,
but I do hope that the developer doesn't abandon Xenoblade X, which wasn't as well received.
I would love a sequel to that.
It wasn't as well received.
You know what I think you'll probably receive before a sequel?
The story and characters in that game
was lackluster,
like really lackluster, almost like
the story
tacked
cutscenes.
on.
I bet you'll get a port of that one onto the Switch before you see a sequel to it.
I wouldn't mind that.
But like that I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like everything's getting ported to the Switch at this point.
I never finished Xenoblade Chronicles X, and at this point, do I want to bust out my Wii U to play it?
Nah, probably not.
I would rather restart it on the Switch than...
Yeah.
Can I do a quick rant about the Switch?
10 seconds, go.
I don't like the Switch.
All right, moving on. So, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I don't like holding the Switch. In fact, I'd rather, as a person who doesn't take his system out of the house ever, but you know, a lot of people don't. They play in bed, they play on the couch while something else is on TV. I'd rather that be a Wii U pad.
Because it's too small for your hands.
It's not just small. It doesn't feel good. Like the buttons, the triggers. It doesn't feel like it feels cheap. It feels tiny. It feels flimsy. Yeah. You know, like I feel like I could break it real easily. My Joy-Cons kind of move a little bit. Like,
well, that's because they're on a track.
No,
you're bending them off the track when you do that.
No, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't feel good in my hands. And I have a Pro Controller, and I almost always use it with the Pro Controller. I even bought a second like aftermarket dock just so I can move it from one TV to the next. Because
I said I was going to do that, and people looked at me like I was crazy.
Well, that's because the proper one
you
is
were going to buy an aftermarket.
The one I got
was
$35.
You were going to buy the $90 one.
Yeah, don't buy the $90 one.
I didn't even know they made
off-brand ones. Best Buy sells one,
but now you can get
and I saw it on sale for $35, and it gets good reviews, so I just got that one.
I think Wario just tweeted about one the other day, an aftermarket dock.
I will say I have been playing with my Pro Controller since Chris Davis got it for me for Christmas, so thank you, Chris Davis.
I just like it because it fucking
very
has a
nice.
Good battery life.
It does. It does have a good battery life. And
people keep saying I have big. I do not have Shaq-size hands. My hands are larger than like a short person's, but they're not like giant hands.
I think as far as a handheld platform goes, though, like if you're taking it on the go, like I think it feels fine. But like even on the go, it doesn't feel like a handheld. I'd almost rather be playing like a Vita. It feels to me. It feels very much like a handheld. Like, but I've actually used this as a handheld more than I think any system I've actually. Like more consistently than any handheld platform I've used.
All these new indie games are coming out. Like Celeste is a big indie game that just came out. People are like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that for the Switch." Like, I really don't want it for the Switch.
Wait, which game are you talking about?
Celeste.
Oh,
which somebody will probably talk about that next week. I'm sure.
Well, speaking of, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this transition.
Oh yeah,
I have a new
fuck
game
the
I wanna
Switch.
talk-
Also, it's lacking functionality. Can't believe there's no Netflix or Amazon on it yet.
That's coming though.
Netflix
Okay,
has said they might.
Yeah, they said they might. And it's almost
Yeah.
been a year now. What the fuck?
Do people just want that because they want to be able to
Every
watch
device
Netflix
with a
on the-
screen
on the
has
device,
Netflix and
like,
Amazon.
on the go?
Probably.
No, you know why it's nice? Because I can be watching a show in my living room. I could take it. I could pop it on another TV. I can watch it in bed. Everything with the screen has Netflix and Amazon on it. It's weird
Yeah.
that the Switch doesn't.
I mean, I'm sure that's coming. I would be shocked if that didn't happen. I just, it obviously wasn't ready. They didn't have the deals in place for launch. I mean, but yeah, I would find it pretty shocking if it
Also,
didn't come.
the option to be able to control your TV, the Wii U Pack can do that. I wish the Switch had that.
I didn't know the Wii Pack could do
Yeah,
that.
you could do like volume, and you could power on your TV on and off with the Switch Pad or the Wii U Pack.
Brad, you were talking about having problems with turning on your Wii U with the Pro Controller, right?
With the Wii U, yeah.
Sorry, not the Wii U, the Switch. You're
I just didn't know how.
Do you know how now?
Some people say I just press it once. And
Press the home button twice.
Just
twice.
fast
Press
tap
the
it.
home button. Press it again. It'll connect.
But I just sometimes I like do it 10 times and nothing would happen.
That's
I'm
because
like,
you have
what
to do
the
it
fuck is
twice.
going on?
Yeah, twice. I
Don't
think.
do it 10 times.
Yeah.
But I've done
Just
it
twice.
once before and it worked.
No.
Were you just recently using it?
I don't fucking know.
I don't. Well, I have found because I've been playing a lot of Switch lately, Zelda, and
Yeah.
I've played literally 95% of what I've played recently docked. I found that pressing the home button once, you'll see it start syncing,
Yeah.
and then as soon as I press it again, it will like sync up, or it'll turn it on. I don't know why.
Also, there's no Virtual Console, and you know why?
Well,
Because there's no good way to play it like Mega Man. How are you gonna play Mega Man on a Switch? You're gonna use those 4 buttons? That is not even close to a
Brad's
good
not a big fan
replacement of the
lack of a
D-pad.
D-pad.
It's not even close to a D-pad. It's weird. It's like bad. It's really bad. Have you tried playing like a 2D game with the buttons?
No.
Oh my god, no, it's not good. Because even with the D-pad, even like the PlayStation one that has the little piece of plastic on there, it is still like a single like disc that you're interacting with it. And as you're kind of rolling from like down to forward, there is like physics, like it's physically kind of moving the whole thing. But when it's just a button,
Yeah,
you
can't
really slide it over, you know?
What I do like about
It's bad.
what I do like about the Switch is from a design perspective is that because of the way it's built and designed, they can essentially fix some of these problems.
They could release
by
new
releasing
Joy-Con.
new Joy-Cons instead of
Yes,
having to
that
buy an
fixes
entire
that.
system. You can literally they can redesign
Well, I hope
one
it's
aspect
free
of it.
because Virtual Console is going to be weird without a proper D-pad.
You're right. That's true. But who knows what the Switch will look like, or what this ecosystem for the Switch will look like in a year. We'll see.
I'm not going to pick up Celeste on that because there's no D-pad.
Sure.
And that's like a Super Meat Boy
That is fair.
difficult platform.
That is fair. I have a new game to talk about.
What's that, Nick?
Brand new game. Played this last night on the feed.
Ooh.
This is from Supermassive Games. Those are the guys who did Until Dawn. Did everyone here play Until Dawn, right?
Yep.
Everyone like that game?
It's pretty good.
I played the Impatient last night. It is a VR exclusive. It is also what I thought was going to be like a light tie-in to Until Dawn. It's just like kind of same universe.
Yeah.
Like there's little references here and there.
No, it's more than
Way
that.
more tied into
Yeah.
Until Dawn than I originally expected. But I played this last night on my stream. I started at 9:00 and I finished the game at 11:30.
Oh, wow.
It is a short ass game, which is shocking considering they're asking $40 for this game.
Damn.
So
I thought we took his phone away.
yeah, when the hell did you
I don't know. It somehow ended up back up with me.
Somehow.
Is it on airplane mode?
you son of a
Yeah.
bitch? Guys, focus. You're killing me.
Inpatient. 2.5 hours.
I finished the Impatient last night. What this game ultimately is, I'm pretty sure, is really just... And I kind of expected this going into it, which is why I'm really shocked that it ended up being $40. That it's very much... It's basically Supermassive Games experimenting with VR.
But they've already done that.
That's true.
They did that, yeah. But
With
the thing
Breath
is,
of Blood.
but they did that. It was kind of like an on rails thing.
Correct.
It was a rail shooter.
This is them testing the not on rails.
This is them trying to kind of do their trying to like do their own Resident Evil 7, right? Where you have more control over your character. You're not tied to a rail system.
Correct.
While at the same time you're making the same kind of decisions that you made in Until Dawn. Like it literally has like all the same mechanics of Until Dawn. Like you're responding to dialogue options, you're making decisions
on the fly,
and it'll do that thing with the butterflies where it's like it has it even explains the butterfly effect thing. Yeah.
The Wendigos.
I don't want to spoil it for you, Brad, but you're right. Like what I was talking about, like I thought they were gonna like really steer away from Until Dawn, like thematically speaking, but like this ties into the game way deeper, the original game way deeper than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
What it does that's kind of unique and cool. This is the first game I've personally played like this. Since you're playing in VR, you're using the PlayStation Eye, and you respond like when people ask you questions, you can actually respond to them with your voice.
Yeah.
It's a little like Lifeline, if you remember that game. Yeah. So this was my kind of first experience with that kind of game, but playing it with the VR headset on was actually pretty cool. Like it'll pop up dialogue options. Right now it's pretty basic. Like they'll ask you a question or they'll say something to you, and like it'll appear on screen just like that. And you can either look at it and press X, or you can just literally say it out loud, and it did a pretty good job of recognizing it.
Yeah.
So that stuff was pretty cool.
This does some Jacob's Ladder shit here.
How so?
Never mind. I'm asking.
Never mind.
I don't really know much about this game.
I mean, it's really pretty straightforward as far like what you kind of think you're gonna get. Like it ties into Until Dawn. It takes place in a sanitarium. You are of course a patient who's lost his memory. So when you wake up, shit starts to happen, and as you kind of figure out what's going on, you start to realize more about yourself as a character. And that starts out really kind of intriguing. And then somewhere about in the middle point of this game, it kind of becomes like you spend an awful lot of time in this game walking very slowly behind people as they lead you through it, and nothing's happening. Like they'll be talking to you and you'll expect something exciting to happen. I shit you not. I followed a character in this game for probably 25 minutes without anything like spoopy happening. He just kind of leads me through and like turns and talks to me or whatever.
Was
and
it
I'm just
Peter
kind of like,
Stormare?
no, it's not Peter Stormare.
Well, then who cares?
He's
Is
not
it
in
this
this game.
guy most of the time?
No, it's not even that guy.
Okay, that's the only guy I know from when I played at E3.
Yeah, this guy doesn't have a whole lot of involvement in the game, the final game. But yeah, you do meet other characters and everything. I kind of had the total opposite experience of this game as Until Dawn, because in Until Dawn, I got everybody out alive except for one person. I made a mistake early on in the game. One character died, and I got everybody else out of that game alive. This game, I got everybody fucking killed. And that is largely because you can play with the move controllers. I chose not to, and I regret it. I regret
Why
bad.
didn't you play with the move controllers?
Because
You can control it by looking around what you look at.
one, I've never really played with move controller, and I just didn't feel like setting it up and trying to learn how to play it. So I was like, I'll use the DualShock 4 controller, and I'll just kind of like you can do that. You can, because it has the light on the top of it, so you can actually use that to like interact with stuff. But there's a part in an elevator where like something's running at the elevator, and you got to like
press the button,
and I couldn't press the button.
Pressing door open.
I'm like trying to get it, and I'm screaming my head off, and everybody died because of shit like that. But yeah, it's kind of a cool experience, but like at the end of the day, what was that, Brad? There is a shocking amount of this game that is literally just been walking behind someone and following it, and like absolutely nothing happening.
It sounds kind of boring.
It starts out exciting because like they do this cool thing where it goes through like you wake up in your cell, everything's normal. People, I say cell. You're in a sanitarium, so you're in a room, and they like the nurse will come in and she'll like bring you food and she'll talk to you and ask you questions and stuff, and then she'll leave, and you kind of go through like 2 or 3 or 4 days like that.
It's just getting you used to the controls.
Yeah, before stuff starts to happen. Like you kind of learn some of the backstory and stuff starts to develop until shit kind of starts to hit the fan. That stuff's very intriguing. But once you kind of get out of your room and you can kind of explore the hospital and like the story starts to like unfold, like there's not a lot of action. There's like 2 or 3 scenes in this game where I can remember where like something was like actually happening. Like something exciting was happening.
Doesn't sound great for a game that's not very long in the first place.
I know it's not. Like this game is not getting great reception, and I think that's largely part of it. It has some really cool moments, but it is like sprinkled throughout a otherwise short experience that is everything else is just kind of dull.
I played about half of Hidden Agenda, which is Supermassive's other game that they did fairly recently.
I heard that was kind of cool too.
Where you use like a phone.
I thought that would have been
Interact?
really fucking cool.
Oh god, that game is so boring. I tried playing that with Leah, and we were so bored. We were forcing ourselves, and we were like, we can't do this anymore. It's so boring.
I mean, I'm a little worried about Supermassive after this, and I think a lot of that
because we were worried going into Until Dawn because they did not have a great track record.
No, they
but
didn't.
Until Dawn was good, and we were like, oh, okay, promising future. And now they've had a couple of missteps, and we're like, I'm like, oh god, were they like a one-hit wonder?
Do you think they put this game out too fast? Like,
now here's what I really think.
In the rush to get it like out, they were just being
I think Sony was like, hey, can you do like a VR thing for us?
Joke.
And can you do? Oh, you're doing a joke. Damn it.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Just fucked it.
I'm sorry.
Literally.
Yes.
Do you want to take it from the top?
No. It's not funny when you just redo it.
I'm so sorry.
Supermassive cock or something?
No. I said, do you think they got it out too fast because they were impatient?
No.
I saved the podcast.
Nolan,
That's what I did. I saved the podcast. And
Oh,
let's call this the Impatient podcast.
all right. I'll do it for you, Nolan. I'll name the show the Impatient Show.
Both this game and the one with the phone are both using kind of like Sony's technologies that they're dabbling in.
Yeah, but
so maybe they just kind of had Supermassive's first party now.
I think so.
Yeah, there.
So they probably just like, hey, do this shit if you want the budget to make Until Dawn.
Okay, sure. And on one hand, first of all, I think we all really liked Until Dawn, didn't we?
Yeah,
Good game.
yeah.
That game, I think it was great. I'm not. On one hand, I'm worried because they essentially 1 out of 3 has turned out great. On the other hand, I'm not too nervous because I feel like this kind of was born as like they wanted to do something with the tech and they were trying to like experiment with it to like get the hang of it, maybe for a future project. And Sony was like, why don't we just release this as a game? I don't know if it was that. I feel like this was like never really intended to be a $40 product, but Sony was just like, we're gonna do it for $40.
$40 surprising.
I think if this was $20, I feel like it would have been.
I would say
fine.
They would say they're 2 out of 4 then, because Rush of Blood was good.
Yeah, Russia. Yeah, okay, right. You're right. Rush of Blood was good.
That was a really good game.
I want to replay it with the Move controllers because we were using the controller.
yeah.
Dude, I played it with the Move controllers. It's so much better. It's so good.
But Rush of Blood is just an Unreal shooter, like with
But as far as
elements, it's a completely different game than what those other 3 are. Which those other 3 are,
But like
true.
very specifically a genre.
Panzer Dragoon is an on-rail shooter. Rez is an on-rail shooter. Star Fox
I'm
is an
not saying
on-rail
it's
shooter.
bad because of that. I'm saying it's a lot easier for them to score slam dunk on that one because they're trying to hit completely different goalposts.
Yeah, true.
Than with
But
what
they
they're
nailed
doing.
But
here.
here, let me just say this about the Impatient.
Clowns, yo.
Let me just say this about the Impatient. I think there's potential here. I think that I don't think this thing like falls apart and is like poorly made.
Where's the potential?
I think the potential is like I can imagine playing Until Dawn 2 in its entirety like this
In VR.
in VR.
Okay,
In
yeah.
fact, that might even be what this is kind of building to.
Maybe.
I think the atmosphere is great. It's got some good scares. Like I shit you not, there is at the beginning. It's in this footage. There was a scare that got me so bad last night I almost shat myself on the stream.
Is it when you're walking with him out of the room
Yeah.
and stuff? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's kind of cheap. I'll be honest. In fact, you see, it's funny in the footage. You see me turning the volume down because I was waiting for it. I was like, it scared the fucking shit out of me last night.
Because this is the section I did at E3.
Yeah.
The demo I played. So
Yeah.
I remember that scare.
How did Outlast not have VR support?
I mean, I just don't.
I thought after Resident Evil 7, you were going to start seeing more games.
You're right, but like the Red Barrels were getting questions about VR support for Outlast, and they were like, I think they were getting annoyed by how people. They were just like, we didn't want
It's
to.
a game where you just run from things.
I know, but they were like, as a studio, they were just like, we didn't set out to make a VR game.
The Brad, you can't just take a game and make it VR. It's not how it
Well,
works.
I mean, some people are doing that. You could do Metroid Prime in VR on Dolphin.
I know, but like for them, it was like we didn't set out to make a VR game. Now VR is becoming popular, but we're not going to like change our project to like suddenly become a VR game.
When all of a sudden, when it's in VR, you have to completely change.
If
some
we
of
get
the
an
aspects
Outlast
of the
3,
game.
I would be shocked if that doesn't have VR support. But I don't think they didn't have any intention of like, doing that from the start. But anyways, the potential in the Impatient, they're good at telling a story. Still, I think that shines through. The voice acting and the acting is great. I think this is just a little like they had a few like really tense moments, scenes like separate, like kind of scattered about the thing. It just wasn't tied together in a really great way. That's the shit right there. That shit fucked me up last night. But presentation wise, they've got it. The one thing that annoyed the fucking hell out of me last night that they need to fix, and I think this is kind of a step backwards from like Resident Evil 7, is this is kind of like halfway between like being on rails and being off the rails.
Yeah.
Because they give you the ability to
turning's weird in this game.
you can do the
45
you can do the 30, 45 or free.
Yeah.
I set it to free because I played all of Resident Evil 7 like that. I had no problems. I wanted to play another game just like that. But if you tap back on the analog stick, he does a quick turn. Like it does a fade to black and you're facing the opposite direction. And you're often like find yourself like looking around in VR, and sometimes your kind of natural inclination is to like still move the stick.
Yeah.
So trying to fight that is hard. And every 5 seconds I was doing quick turns. There were even times where I think I missed important like pieces of like scene because I was like, oh shit, I quick turned on accident. When I turned back around, it was gone.
The trick with Resident Evil doing it smooth is you got to lead with your head.
Yeah.
Because if you try to turn while you're just looking straight, you feel like, whoa, what is happening to my brain?
And that's what I was trying to do in this game, and it's not quite there. But like it's close. Like I feel like they could polish it up a little bit, and it'd be right on par with playing something like Resident Evil 7. I just don't think they had enough like exhilarating moments throughout this. Like this just felt like they stretched it out because they felt like they had to. Yeah. What's there that's good is cool. Like there's a scene where you're trying to go between like the hospital and this like chapel, but you have to go through the snow, and there's a monster out there, and you're like we'll go one at a time, and you don't if something sees you, you don't want to move, right? And I was like, okay, so that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go out there, it's gonna see me, and I'm gonna have to like remain perfectly still in VR, which could be really cool. But you actually get to choose who goes first and who goes second or whatever, and like I just made the wrong decisions. But like it was like super like tense, like trying to get people across this like 50
What
yard.
about the last scene in Until Dawn where like people are just being like,
Well, that's fine. But you need to worry
Wait,
about
and you're like, what the fuck does that mean? And you like do something and blow up the whole fucking house.
That didn't happen to me.
I know, but like you lucked out because they were just like,
people on the audio have no idea what you're
oh yeah, that's true.
doing. They're like nodding,
nodding their head in a direction.
I'm not saying Until Dawn was perfect, but like they did a pretty good job on that, and I think that still shines through here. They just they stretched it out into something. It was just ultimately kind of sparse and boring, which kind of sucks. And it also ends really abruptly. Like you make a decision, and I thought there was still I thought I was coming up in the end, but I figured like I'd make a decision, and then some crazy shit would happen, and then maybe go through another sequence, and it would end. I made the decision, fucking game ends. And I'm wondering if maybe like it could have gone on longer, if maybe the game was a little bit longer, and I just made the decision that just cuts it off and ends it right there, which is definitely possible.
Bad ending, yeah.
Out of this, there's like 6 major butterfly effects things in the game, and I've only unlocked 4 of them. So I'm wondering if maybe I just ended the game too early. But Robin actually says she wants to play it, so I'll probably just watch her play it. Because I'm not going to play this again. I'll just see what she does and see how it goes from there. But yeah, it's definitely weird because it's $40. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Anyways, I have another game to talk about. I don't want to jump straight into another one. What about Krispy? You played Yakuza 0, and I know Brad wanted to hear what you thought about that.
Shit.
How much of that did you play?
I don't have footage or anything. But
Nah, we know what Yakuza looks like.
I've been playing Yakuza 0, and I'm on chapter. Let me think about this. So I'm back to Majima. So I'm on chapter 8.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. You're getting there.
Have you done much?
Isn't there
of
like
the
13
Cabaret Club?
So
There's
I
17.
I just finished the chapter where they give you the Cabaret Club and tell you like how to run it and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've just started
The
doing
Sunshine
that.
Club?
But the Sunshine Club. I have been recruiting lovely young ladies to be hostesses though. Yeah.
Also,
all of those are porn stars.
Also, some of the best ones come from the sub stories, like the gold level ones.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that.
I've been doing every sub story I can come across.
And keep going with that because there's a lot of cool story stuff surrounding
The storyline that follows the Sunshine Club is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And the mini game is pretty fun once you figure
I was
it out.
so close to
5 stars.
I was like this close to getting on Amazon and buying this game last week when we were talking about
Dude,
it. And I looked at it and I was like, it's still like $50.
It was on sale for $40 the other day.
It's a lot of fun, and the story is like, I was so afraid of jumping back into this because I thought I was going to be like completely lost with what was going on.
Those story recaps.
But
They
like,
do good recaps. Yeah.
yeah, no, like I'm completely with it, and it's compelling as fuck. Even though like some of the minutia of like the Dojima family and the Toho clan and like how it all is
Some of that's
organized
hard to
is a
follow.
little,
You know,
like,
in the menu,
yeah,
you can read like little dossiers or whatever
Yeah.
about the different
yeah,
family
Like,
members,
who's
and it does
related.
update as you progress through the story.
I've-
It'll clear some things up for you.
I've had a lot of success just recontextualizing it in like a Game of Thrones type like lords and bannermen kind of thing.
Yeah, there might be some like good family trees and stuff online.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty interesting, and a lot of the side stories have been just fucking goddamn brilliant, like gold.
Fucking solid.
So far,
gold.
so good. A moment that I was that I kind of liked was I did a thing with Kiryu where he runs into this kid. What's his name?
Oh,
Dojima.
yeah, the Dojima clan. That
Dai-
kid. What is his
Don't look at
name?
me.
Daikun Dojima.
Something like
I
that.
think his
Yeah,
name,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
In the pool hall. or
Yeah,
something?
not in the pool.
No,
hall.
no,
You
in
meant
the
like
batting cages.
Batting
Batting
cages.
cages.
where you
Yeah,
see him, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, so he's the Dojima family leader's son,
Yeah, correct.
who would have been, so Kiryu's adopted father was like one of the lieutenants for the head of the Dojima family, right?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. So he's kind of like above Kiryu in the whole hierarchy of everything. And I did the whole thing with that kid, which was kind of
When
an
he says
interesting,
kid,
funny
he's
li-
talking about like an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's like a little 8-year-old. And I was like, oh, that was interesting. And I was looking up the Dojima family just to kind of like solidify my understanding of how it's all organized. And I saw that kid was like listed in there, and like he's like an actual important character throughout the whole series. It seems like.
You'll run into on Majima's side. You'll run into a character who's like an important character in Yakuza 2,
Yeah.
and he's in some.
It's interesting how
But he's
kind of
a
not
kid
as
still.
yeah, like he didn't seem that important in the grand scheme of things, but like a lot of like doing some research, a lot of these characters is like, oh yeah, no, actually that guy's like a thing, like he's around for the whole franchise, like he
Connective
shows up
tissue.
in every game. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
I
really
think
interesting.
and that's what I was talking. I don't remember if I was talking with Brad or Krispy about it, but when I was playing Yakuza 0, there was often times where I'm like, it's my first Yakuza game, and I know this person seems important. Like, it seems like it's almost like anyone who's a fan of the series probably is like, oh, this guy, getting like a nice little nod
Yeah.
or whatever. And I don't feel bad playing this as my first game. I definitely don't. I'm glad I did. But there are definitely things. It's like at one point, like towards the end of me playing this game, I think even the last night, it was the last time I played this.
Yeah.
I ran into a fortune teller, and she's like, "Oh, let me tell you your fortune." And she's like saying all this shit, and I'm like,
Mhm,
"Is
that's
she
pretty
literally
clever.
just giving me story beats for
Yeah.
other Yakuza?" And
It's
she
almost
had-
like trivia for like.
yeah, she's asking you
Yakuza
questions.
fans.
At one point, she's like, "Oh, I see you having like 8 children." I'm like, "Wait, wasn't there something with him in an orphanage?"
Yeah.
And it's like all this shit, and I'm like, "God damn it!" Like, I'm
That's
sure whoever,
awesome.
if someone's already up to date on the Yakuza games, they're fucking loving this. It's probably nostalgia.
You're
thing.
missing out on
Yeah,
nostalgia,
but
yeah.
I don't get it.
It's kind of an interesting angle to come at these things that have been around in the franchise since PS2.
Majima and
over
Kiryu
a
are just
decade.
the greatest.
The other thing I will say too is
Oh.
like I really like Kiryu,
Yeah.
but dude, Majima's so much cooler than Kiryu.
They're like the same character, though.
No, but like the way the story treats those characters is completely different. Kiryu is very much like a typical video game like near silent protagonist. He's just kind of like very stoic and just very like neutral, and in any scene he's just gonna do whatever is like the badass thing to do
In the main
like
story,
is the
yeah.
cool thing. Yeah, for sure. But like he's also kind of like, I feel like he's not very deeply characterized. Like he's just kind of flat and kind of just like this one beat. It's a great beat and I love it. But Majima feels like a character.
Yakuza
Like,
0 is
Majima
more
feels
Majima's
like-
story, actually.
Yeah,
Kiryu's just there because he's kind of
he
always
needs
there.
to be there.
Yeah, but then you'll find like other Yakuza games, like Yakuza 4.
Yeah.
Some of the other characters you play as are kind of like the stars.
Well, I'm like, it's made me wonder, like, is Kiryu like really like this in all the other games, or does he like
There's-
kind of flesh
there's
out and have a bit
development
more
there, for sure.
Because Yakuza 6 is like kind of like a big like a big setup for him is that like he's like starting a family and like has a kid now and stuff like that, and it's like he's moving into a new phase of his life. So like I wonder if he
Kiryu's always the straight man for sure. Except in the sub stories, where sub story Kiryu is the same as sub story Majima, really.
Sure.
But like, man, like in the sub quest where he has to buy like a porno mag for the kid, and he's so torn.
Good.
He's like, I can't let him down.
So
I haven't
good.
done that.
But
one
like,
yet.
Nick, there's this sub story where like Kiryu, this kid's like, oh, I want to buy this magazine, and Kiryu's like, oh, I'll buy it for you, and he's like, oh shit, it's like
made a
porn
promise.
mag. He's like, I can't do this, and then like he's like, he's like, fine, I'll do it, and then some ladies walk out, and he's like, oh, I can't do it, dude, it's so good.
I'm going to play this fucking
That's
game.
pretty great. I mean,
someday.
The nice thing about like how serious and like arch Kiryu can be is when they play it for laughs, like when he's doing something really banal, and it's like he's still bringing that same level of intensity, like the telephone clubs when he's like answering the phone and everything. Like it's so badass, it's so great. But like, fuck, man, Majima is a great character so far. Like I am really.
You're gonna finish this. You're working on this game actively.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, dude, no! Monster Hunter's out tomorrow. He's lost,
guys.
We lost him.
That's the problem, Krispy. I think once you get to like chapter 9 or 10, you get fucking hooked on this game, and you don't want to put it down.
For sure.
It's definitely a game you'll finish faster than Monster Hunter. That's for sure.
Yes, I
get the there's an item that lets you see sub stories on the map. The Trouble Finder.
I have it.
No, not Trouble Finder. Incident.
I have the Trouble.
There's a couple of them. One detects...
Trouble Finder detects enemies in the world who want to fight you and shows you where Mr. Shakedown is. The Incident something or whatever is the one that shows you sub stories. A little explanation mark on the map wherever they are.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say hold off on Monster Hunter. Like I know.
There's no way
that's not happening.
Just, Yakuza, you got like maybe
just have a back.
more
Have it.
hours. Maybe a little more.
Have a back burner. Have a
just
back
don't
burner
be
game.
compulsive about your addiction for Monster Hunter, okay? Just, occasionally take a Yakuza day. It's healthy.
I mean, I've been playing Yakuza pretty regularly for the last few weeks, alongside Dark Souls 3, so I can do that.
Dark Souls 3.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I actually started playing.
I have
Dark
all
Souls
the
3
faith.
again.
I
don't have
faith.
much to say about it, except that like,
Dark
hey,
Souls.
I forgot how good that game was.
It is great. I have one more game to talk about, guys, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. It's just weird going from a game like Yakuza, everyone loves it, to talking about this game.
A game most people
Strangely, this is the game I find myself thinking about playing the most right now. I started Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yep.
What?
Why?
Wait,
No, I knew that. I knew that.
I'm about to say, is this really news to you? Yeah, I started on the feed last week. I've done 3 sessions of it so far. I've played about 10 hours of the game.
And?
That game I think that game gets an unfair amount of hatred from people. I know, here's the thing.
You didn't play it at launch.
No, I did actually play it at launch. I played it for 2 or 3 hours at launch, and I put it down because, yes, that game was a goddamn disaster zone when that game launched. I will say, like, it was so technically buggy, it was distracting from things that I think are good about the game. To be honest, it's been so long since I played the original, I couldn't quite tell you how much of it. I couldn't quite tell you how much of it has improved and how much of it hasn't since launch.
Yeah.
But like it is as it exists now, Mass Effect Andromeda is not only is it playable, I think it is a fun experience to have. It is I am enjoying the shit out of it actually. It still has a little bit of technical issues. They didn't fix her run animation, which I think is kind of weird. She still runs really funky. I don't know if you'll see it in this footage.
She does her arms like...
No, it's actually her legs. The way her legs do this hopping thing.
Is there a highlight out there for me like on stairs in this game when her legs start going like fucking really high up in the air?
It's like the one thing that I wish they had fixed that they haven't fixed. Everything else, that all the deadpan faces and the huge eyes that don't seem to blink, all that shit seems to be largely fixed.
Do you remember like Red Dead sometimes had that issue when you would get off a horse or something and John Marston would walk with his legs off?
It looks like he feels like he's still in a saddle and he'd be like, what?
Like, sometimes like when I was playing this when it first came out, whenever she would go off of like SMG, if there's a highlight of that, can you tweet that at me? I want to watch that again.
Do you think The Witcher ruined us?
No. But
in some ways,
when she would go downstairs, sometimes she would get like stuck in that animation. So even though she's not on stairs anymore, it's like she's doing squats or something. Her butt's like super low and her legs are all goofy.
I mean, open world jank used to be a thing that we just kind of accepted.
But this game kind of takes it. This game was like so jank, it was distracting. Like, not to mention, we had Mass Effect 1 through 3, which had a certain level of polish.
They
on
were
it
fairly polished.
They were fairly polished, but they weren't like big open worlds. Then Dragon Age Inquisition came along, and while that game had its own problems, I think that was fairly it was adequate from a technical standpoint, right? Yeah. And then we got this, and obviously we heard about all the development woes and whatnot. So it was so distracting, like you couldn't even really take enjoyment in the things that I think it does particularly well. And for those people in chat, I'm not saying Mass Effect 1 was like a super polished game, but
not even close.
No, but like
he's comparing Mass Effect 1 to this.
Yes, every prior Mass Effect in comparison to the way this game launched was polished.
And that being said, Brad, Witcher 3 had plenty of jank in it.
Yeah,
but not like embarrassing stuff.
But like,
look at their lips.
But like
humans.
This.
Yeah, in this game, the humans like faces are like the way they
like. But the thing is, like that kind of stuff is so nitpicky that it's
what Brad's talking about is the fact that in earlier Mass Effect games that was done well, and it seemed like a step backwards.
Sure,
Mass Effect is cool as shit, and it's supposed to be cool. And when your character looks like a fucking abomination, it makes it less cool.
Are you saying my character looks like an abomination?
Well, that's
compared to these characters, absolutely, man.
So Nick, I
think that's a little extreme.
Well, to an extent, I agree with Brad. If there were no humans in this game, we probably would not be complaining as much.
For sure,
because it's easy to make an alien just look normal. Because that's what the fuck. We don't have any. We can't compare them to anything. But then when you try to make a human look realistic, your eyes very easily see when things aren't right.
Sure, but like they have fixed a lot of the jank in the character animations, including on the humans. Like the eyes don't.
They blink.
Yes, they blink. I mean, a lot of the changes they made to the facial. I don't want to spend all my time talking about the facial animations. Like I think the game looks fine now.
Yeah.
I don't like. I couldn't play it at launch. Like I said, I played about 2-3 hours at launch. It was so distracting. I couldn't fucking play it, so I put it down. For the most part, a lot of those problems have been smoothed out. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. The game now plays like a pretty I think it stands with the other Mass Effect games as far as playability goes. Like I'm really enjoying the story. Like Krispy said a few weeks ago, I think the setup for this game. Obviously, I've only played about 10 hours of it, so I don't know how it pans out. But
I would like to clarify that I love the setup for this game.
Yeah, I know.
I think the story and the narrative is soulless and not interesting.
How are the characters?
How much did you play? I can't remember.
I mean, I didn't. I got a little farther than like basically where you are right here.
So
because you visited the new alien planet for the first time and got the new character. I did.
In fact, I've gotten all the characters.
I don't remember what I did,
which I think is kind of weird.
I did some other stuff after that, but
don't know
what?
Yet. Just be
No, I was about to have some
question,
question, but you're talking.
I don't know, man. Like the story.
I'm into it so far.
Are there any memorable characters?
No.
I mean, I haven't. The thing is, I haven't spent enough time with all of them. First of all, I'm really interested in I just met PB, and I so far I think she seems pretty interesting, and I also met Vetra. So far she seems pretty interesting. Like all the characters, the characters that I'm less interested in are the human characters. I just met Jaal. He seems like a pretty interesting character so far. I think as far as the aliens go, I think he has one of the biggest personalities on the ship. Like I said, I literally just met him before I recorded this footage, so I don't really have much to compare to. The Krogan in this game, Drac, I think is great. Like, I'm enjoying most of the characters in this game so far. And the setup is still really interesting to me. Like I'm saying, it could fall flat by the end of it. I don't know. But from what I've played so far, I'm enjoying it just as much as, I enjoyed any other Mass Effect game up until this point. There's still plenty of opportunity for it to kind of fall apart. Like this, like when you're actually exploring the planets, like I'm really enjoying like the traversal stuff, like the jetpack stuff that they added is really satisfying and fun. I still fucking love playing biotics. I think that's some of the best biotics powers in the series so far that I've played. Like when you go into a menu and start like looking at all the different powers you can get and upgrading them, like that stuff seems really satisfying. And like there's so many directions I want to go in the skill trees that like I don't know it's hard making a decision. Like that stuff seems really interesting. Like the whole concept of exploring the planets and reaching milestones which then allow you to go back to your ship and bring more people out of cryo and then dictating, you get to choose when you pull people out of cryo whether you're going to assign them to medical tasks or military tasks or whatever. Like, all of that stuff seems really interesting.
How much have you played this?
About 10 hours.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're playing this with the knowledge that this thing is like a disaster, right?
I'm playing this with the knowledge. I'm playing this mostly with the knowledge that we're probably not going to get a sequel to it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
by the way,
you're like, no, this is like surprisingly good. Is that like this is up there with like Mass Effect, or it's better than what people have been?
I think a lot of my enjoyment stems from probably two places. One, yeah, I think I was expecting the worst, and what I've got is like maybe the worst in the series, maybe, but like I still think I'm probably enjoying it more because people made me think this was total fucking garbage. I don't think it's total fucking garbage. From a technical standpoint at launch, yes, it probably was technical disaster, and it was a crime that they put it out in that state. But now that it's been patched up, I think what I'm most disappointed by is knowing that now we're probably not going to get a sequel to this ever, or maybe at least not for another 10 years. And when that fucking happens, it's probably not going to be related to this game at all.
You know what, Nick? I hope they do a sequel, and I hope there's no humans in it.
Sure.
I want you to play more of this and tell me.
I'm going to. I actually
about these characters.
The other reason I'm probably enjoying it is because Robin's played this fucking twice, and I talked to her about it a lot, and like she seemed to really enjoy it. So there are people out there who've played this game and gotten plenty of enjoyment out of it. People have come into chat. Chris Davis enjoyed it. People in chat, people on Twitter who've been talking to me have come in and said, "Don't worry about the fucking people who hate it." By the way, I'm streaming this game, and like I just want to play the game and take it for what it is and enjoy it, and like trying to do that while people are just coming in just like, oh my god, this game is fucking garbage is the worst. The fucking worst.
Sure. But hey, there were people...
But fuck you, I'm still going to keep playing.
Like as far as like modern fandoms go, like Mass Effect is one of the most powerful. Was one of the most powerful.
Sure.
And for so many people to like be disappointed by this thing, you can't like dismiss it. Okay? Like that's coming from the heart for a lot of people out there. And like, listen, if I died, I would trust like Garrus with Henry. Okay? Is that person in this game?
I have only played 10 hours.
To that?
I've only played 10 hours.
10
hours should have been enough.
Back when Garrus was just a fucking cop on the Citadel, like you barely knew him. He was still dope.
Dude, I think Vetra's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Vetra is the stand-in for Garrus in this game. She's is that a Quarian?
The fact that you said stand-in...
Turian, thank you.
Sounds
Turian.
cheap.
It does.
Brad, I'm saying that because obviously Garrus is not in this game. That is the Turian that you play, that is part of your party in this game.
Okay, you mean like the literal aliens.
Yeah, she is literally the Turian in your party.
Okay.
And she seems cool so far. I've also made a vow with Robin that I'm not going to romance any human or humanoid aliens in this game. I am going to
humanoid.
I am playing this game only sexing weird fishy aliens.
Well, I mean,
so
they're
that's all I've ever done.
They're all
what did you do? No, that means no Asaris.
What?
Purely, in fact, I think I only have two options. It's Vetra or Jal.
Technically both humanoid.
No, but like
their faces are humanoid. So.
Their faces are not even. Jal, I wouldn't say Jal is humanoid. And Vetra, I would never qualify Tetra as humanoid just because they have to. Okay, fine. If you want to say,
as long as it's not Ashley, because I got to be honest, I kind of judged you a little back then.
No, I don't think the selection is great in Mass Effect 1. I think the only correct answer is probably Liara.
Ashley sucks.
I know, but dude, even that is why I made this vow to only sex aliens, is because I tend to gravitate towards human characters. I'm trying to get outside my comfort zone a little bit. And Robin was like, you know what? You should only fuck an alien. And I just made this promise. And now I'm like, I just met PB, and I'm like, ooh, PB seems cool.
But why was the space racist your comfort zone? That's my question.
I don't know, dude. I just didn't want to bang an alien, and and I didn't want to bang the dude, so I went with the female human option. What do you want me to tell you?
You fuck Caden.
No, dude. I did not fuck Caden. In fact, I always forget Caden even existed.
I know.
At least I can remember that Ashley existed.
I fucked Caden, not in the sexual way though.
Yeah, I want to watch
As
footage.
It was like, who do you want to die? Caden.
Can anyone find the elusive footage of Mass Effect 3 Caden? Does that exist?
Wait, is he in that game?
If you didn't, if you chose to kill Ashley,
shit.
The elusive
Oh, I
Mass
forgot.
Effect 3
I
Kaden
forgot
footage.
Ashley was in my Mass Effect 3.
yeah.
Oh man, that's
Oh,
crazy.
man.
I'm just saying, guys. I don't want to say much more about it. I'm playing this game. I fully intend to finish it. I'm having a great time playing it. Even if this ends up being the worst Mass Effect in the series, which it probably is. Like, I'm still having a hell of a. I'm thinking about playing this game at work.
That's good.
Like, I want.
No matter what people say about how shitty this game is and their opinions, if you enjoy it, fucking play it.
I love shooting out a biotic. Using the is that the
ejaculating? What?
Yeah. Shooting out
a
no,
biotic?
like, you shoot at the biotic force push, whatever, and it flies, and then it does like a curve and just like slams into dudes, and they go flying off
I
the
just
screen.
want to hear this
So
develop
satisfying.
because I remember Krispy was kind of high on it when he started this game, and I was excited to see how that developed, and it never did.
Well, I'm
so
going to-
don't let me down again.
I won't. I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna finish this game. Out of all the games that I'm actually playing right now, this is probably the one I can finish the fastest. So I might actually do that.
Okay.
We'll see.
Good.
You know what? Fuck the haters. This game is at the very least, it's fun, man. I'm having fun with the combat.
That's good.
Anyways, we need to take a quick break because this segment's gone on a little bit longer than planned. When we come back, I'm going to let Chris Davis sit in for a minute to talk about the Metal Gear Survive. Sorry, Metal Gear Survive beta.
Yep.
We'll do some news, and then we'll, of course, read questions from our supporters on Patreon. So if you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break. Ready to welcome back to the show. We have one more game to talk about. This is actually a beta, as what I mentioned before the break. Metal Gear Survive has a beta out there.
Can't see it from
If
here.
Chris Davis can find the overlay,
Is that it?
that is nope. That's not it. That's Crystal Dynamics.
Ooh, what's going on with Crystal?
There it is.
Dynamics?
That's the one.
Yay, Metal Gear Survive.
I don't know. You'll have to wait to the news segment to hear about that, Brad.
There's
All
going to
right.
be very few people that are going to say, "Yay, Metal Gear Survive."
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would you like to take the next 30 seconds of your life, Nick, to just bitch about Konami and just get it
No,
out of your
I-
system?
I have a
No,
question.
So we can actually talk about this objectively.
My
have a
only
question.
my only thing is I just object to, like, I just don't think this looks like a very interesting game.
I have a question.
Personally, that's
Is
just
this
me.
State of Decay?
No.
Then I don't
not at
care.
all.
Then I don't.
We don't happen to have footage of this, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
All right, roll that steamy footage.
We're all that
I bet it. I bet
footage.
it. I bet it looks great and plays great.
That menu looks an awful lot like Metal Gear.
Sorry.
So
So this
someone
is-
fucking tell me what the hell this game is.
So this is a very much focused on survival and scrounging for resources.
So it's like
game.
is this
built in Metal Gear Solid 5.
like a DayZ in Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of situation?
Kind of,
No.
not really. I mean, it's when he says that, he doesn't. You're not going down chopping down trees. What it is
well, no,
you're-
you are.
I mean, that's not all you're doing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
Yeah, you can chop down trees. Basically, anything in the environment that's not like a wall.
Anything that's not like a building. Some building.
Yeah.
Anything that's not like a permanent structure, I guess. You can break most things in this world. Break
Yeah.
them down into
For materials.
Take those materials to a crafting bench. Make something.
Yeah.
Ammo, repair kits, health,
Chain link
Fences.
fences.
fences,
Yeah.
traps, stuff like that.
Okay, but so my question is, and has always been about this game.
What is it?
Cool. Okay, yeah. Besides, what is it? But like, it's been clear from the beginning this is not like your traditional Metal Gear
Correct.
So
game.
it's,
So like, why does it have to be a Metal Gear game?
Well, because they
Because
have
they
this
took-
amazing.
they took all
because it's a
these assets.
license. Yeah, and it's built inside Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, but it's also
mean,
has
people
so
will buy
much.
it.
It also has so much baggage with it now because of the Kojima
Yeah,
situation.
but like there's a wider audience that don't even
That has
know
no
who
idea,
Kojima
yeah.
is.
Nor do some people just don't give the fuck,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, I guess. Okay.
And
So-
survival games are like at least were popular a couple years ago.
I mean, I
don't-
those things still
I
come
don't want to
around.
like harp on it too much because like I think I really enjoyed Undead Nightmare, which was a total departure, kind of in the same. It's like a zombie game set in the Red Dead Redemption universe. Like, why shouldn't that work in Metal Gear? So I don't want to harp on it too much. But this obviously is a lot deeper than
So-
Undead Nightmare.
So there is a single player mode with
Yes.
a story built to it involving you going into this alternate dimension and finding survivors from this experiment that supposedly happened at the end of
Ground Zeroes.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in air quotes.
I mean, we don't. Hey, video games.
Yeah, no. Yeah. This is never going to be considered canon, right?
No.
Right?
I don't think
Please
so.
tell me.
It's
Metal Gear has
literally-
been batshit crazy from the beginning. Okay.
No, but this is literally not canon.
I mean,
Here's
we don't
It's
know.
an alternate
Here's a question:
dimension.
Is this the world of this game? Is it basically the world from Metal Gear Solid 5 repurposed? Like this is the exact same map. They've just obviously changed some stuff. Or?
So
This area is.
okay. Just to be clear, this is the beta for this game is the same as the E3 demo they've been showing off for 2 years. It's like a portion of the Afghanistan map's assets,
Yeah.
like reconfigured.
yeah, this is like a remix. Of
We
the, of the
don't
map.
we don't have like an idea of what the actual map for this game is. I have seen some footage that looks a lot like the Africa map, for example.
Ooh.
the Africa
so-
map.
So I
Phantom-
couldn't
the
tell
other
you
map
right now.
from Phantom Pain.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
Whatever.
yeah, I would be shocked if there's anything.
but yeah, you can
a
tell from like the
completely
level
new
architecture
area.
here that this resembles like a couple of villages from the Afghanistan.
In fact, I
map
think
in
I can
Metal Gear Solid
remember
5.
this exact village, like
Yes.
just based on the
This
village,
is
Yeah.
a very,
the buildings you were in.
One I went to multiple times when I played.
So what?
Yeah.
So what is the
So-
loop here?
Okay,
Put a chain link fence down.
well, I do it a little bit. So the idea behind the co-op mode is that you're going and you're doing these separate kind of wave-based
defense.
horde modes, tower defense sessions.
Yeah.
Crystal zombies come in for a wave.
Did you say crystal zombies?
Well, they're basically got like crystals coming out of their heads. I don't know what
Okay.
they're exactly called, but they're just
We'll
basically
go with
like
crystal zombies.
Crystal zombies.
CZs.
And you defend this this generator that's absorbing what's called Kuban energy.
Cuban. It's pronounced Cuban.
No, it's Kuban. They're very like in what I've seen, they're very strict on saying it's Kuban, not Cuban.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just a
And you just generate over time. You try to get as much Kuban energy generated as possible. And at the end of the session, you get a shit ton of loot that you can use to craft more shit.
Gotcha.
And that's basically just what
So
this
are-
level
Did
was.
you just refer to this place as a shithole?
Oh, that's
God damn it,
fucked
Nolan.
up.
Okay.
Sorry. Keep going.
So it's
Nolan's on a
really
roll in the
it's kind
past
of a
couple
tower defense mode. The zombies go along certain paths,
You know, and it shows you
and
the
it's
path they're
marked. You
going
can
to
see the
take.
markers on the
Oh, on the mini map.
Yes.
on the mini-map and on the ground
Even on
there.
the ground, you see those white lines? That's the path the zombies are going to take to get.
and they
towards the
they
generator.
will take that path
Zombies,
unless you
please.
get close enough in
Cubanos.
which you draw their attention and they attack. I can't have a fucking objective conversation about this fucking game.
He saw an
I'm
opening
trying
for
my damnedest.
for a Cubano joke. That was pretty good. Sorry.
In between waves, you will be able to do side missions. Like you can go into
So, Nick, you can see on the top right, there's a countdown.
Yes.
Right above the. That's when the next wave is going to start.
yeah, and you've got time to set up defenses.
Is that only
and
co-op that it's like that?
collect stuff. I don't know if
knowledge.
it's single player. They have shown so
Yeah.
very little. of
What
the
is the
single
single player? Is it really single player?
We
player.
don't
Well,
know.
it's single player
It's what, it's 10
with
hours,
with
right?
base building
10-hour
and
campaign.
crafting and all that. Yeah.
But
It seems like this is kind of like this is.
So this side mission right here between wave 2 and 3 of the beta, you go to a side area and you can find some walker gear.
D-walkers.
And you can use that to defend in the last wave, which you kind of need to because it starts spawning all sorts of fucking zombies.
Yeah.
You not only get bomber zombies, which are basically boomers but explosive.
They look like giant mushrooms.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
heads are huge, and then the heads will start to expand, and then they
Oh.
explode.
I
yeah.
have two things.
And then there's like armored zombies, which just take it.
One, someone in chat says, "Is this Fortnite?" With
No, but I think there's less.
Not really, no, because you're not crafting buildings. Mostly what you're crafting are traps and fences and things like that to keep the zombies
Yeah,
out.
it's just defensive structures. Like Fortnite was all about building like an actual like base. I don't think that's
It was
the
building
idea
a
here.
fortified base to try and. I mean, it's similar. It's a similar concept. There are waves of zombies coming to attack a point. You try and kill them before they get to that. There are ways to use, fences and traps and stuff to stop them. So it's similar to that extent, but I don't know. I don't know. It's
here's
similar.
here's another question: do you believe that there is a boardroom of people trying to figure out how to turn this engine into PUBG?
Honestly, I would
guarantee
be
the
surprised.
conversations probably come up.
I would play that.
Yeah,
Given
I think a lot of people
how
would play
well
that.
the fucking gameplay systems worked in Metal Gear Solid 5, I would fucking play that.
So one of like the common things I see like written about this game or is people like talking about like, don't write this game off. This is something that everyone should play, despite all the bad blood behind between fans and Konami right now. And I'm just wondering, like, I feel like in order for like it to get that kind of support, it would need something beyond just being like what is otherwise like good looking tower defense game.
Well, I mean,
Which is kind of
again,
what it seems like.
they shown very little of the single player, but what we know of it, what I've been able to see, is that it's remember that, for example, one of the things that was kind of a disappointment in Metal Gear Solid 5, Mother Base.
Yeah.
Like you could really. They pitched it like you could craft it and organize it how you wanted, and really it was just you were ordering another fucking platform.
Yeah.
And you connect it with a bridge.
Yeah.
Well, this time you've got like this set base area that feels a little like State of Decay, in which you're going in and you can establish crafting stations and like
And
medical
you pick and
tents
choose
and
where
things
the
like
stuff
that,
goes?
and choose where it goes, and talk to survivors that you've rescued out in the field.
Yeah.
It looks to be more fleshed out.
Well, that's cool. I mean,
Not to mention there's some light.
I kind of wish they'd give you more. I
in here.
kind of wish they'd given people more hands-on time with that kind of stuff, or at least in addition to like the tower defense stuff prior to
Yeah.
launch. But when is this game launching?
February
Next
20th
Yeah,
Jesus.
almost just shy of a month.
for $40 actually.
Oh,
It's not a full price game.
It's probably. I will say this: it's probably worth $40. It's probably more worth the $40 price
It
tag
would be
than the Impatient.
ridiculous if this was $60 because they are repurposing an engine and assets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They aren't building a new game. There's no reason this game should be $60.
Yeah.
And as I started out in the video, there's some light RPG mechanics to it. You level up your character. When you level up, you get a skill point. You apply that to a skill tree. The skill tree that they had in the beta, it's probably final.
Yeah.
And it's a little limited. It's more based around attacks and leveling up like dexterity, vitality, things like that.
Yeah.
But
so
there
it's
are
pretty
some useful things like a quick grab ability, which doubles the speed which you grab things.
Yeah.
Which is fucking handy because you're going around and picking up a ton of fucking resources.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You have to push the button to pick it up every time.
I mean, you
oh
just
no,
have to,
Brad.
No, you can just hold down square and just walk over things, and,
Oh,
and your character.
well, that's
picks it
kind
up.
of nice.
Yeah.
I suppose. I will say this: like shooting zombies looks pretty satisfying. I mean, but then again, I
mean,
think
with the D-Walker.
yeah, I guess you're right. But I mean, like,
Yeah,
I'm
because you're
it's-
mowing them down.
But you're still gonna have you're gonna use weapons very much like you did in Metal Gear Solid 5. I thought obviously I tried to play that game very stealthily. I think the one good thing that's gonna come out of this at the very least is like it's kind of more
You
pushing
didn't have
you to
to play
actually
that game stealthily.
didn't have to, but like
the game mechanics were done, designed well enough that you could play that.
sure,
game.
Oh, no,
but,
and
but I
this-
think
this
a
game
vast
is-
majority of people play that game stealthily because that's kind of like that's
It's Metal Gear.
kind of always
Stealth
how
survival
yeah,
game.
it's a
And
stealth
no,
survival
you
game.
can play this game very much stealthily because I was sneaking around and I was backstabbing the
Yeah, if you
zombies
come
and
up
all
behind
that.
the zombies, you can get like a
Yeah, but
stealth
I
kill on them.
think like the pendulum may have swung the other direction for this game, and that this is definitely more of an action-oriented affair. And like, there's definitely
for the
more
co-op, yes.
more
For the
opportunity
co-op,
to
yes.
use some of the weapons that I was hesitant to use in Metal Gear Solid 5 or Metal Gear Solid 5 proper.
Yeah, because when you were playing MGS5 and you had the R&D section going and crafting all sorts of stuff, I was crafting it towards the non-lethal weapons.
Yeah.
But I was getting a ton of lethal weapons in the meantime.
Yeah, but these are zombies. I want to shoot them.
Yeah,
With
and you can
lethal
do
weapons.
that. You can do that with limited ammo because it is a survival game.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot.
Yeah, you're mainly focused on a lot of melee combat and building up and putting up fences and things like that. Hell, they've even kind of brought back the health system from Metal Gear Solid 3, in which you've got like parts of your body can become wounded because
Yeah.
you get hit. Like right here, I think I actually I get hurt in a minute. And you have to go in and you have to apply like sutures or a bandage or things like that. And it's more simplified where you just hold down a button,
Yeah.
but you have to craft those resources or find them in the environment. I think it'd be exceedingly rare. Like, and from what I've been hearing of the single player, like it's even more focused on that. Like you're having to, like I saw a video from Giant Bomb and they were showing off Brad Shoemaker playing it, and he drank some dirty water.
What?
And he got like some
Dysentery?
In the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of
barfing the whole time.
he was barfing the entire time
Wow.
because he didn't realize he had to use
purify it or whatever.
Well, yeah, you want to drink water, purify water, and you can purify it if you have a certain station at your base.
Yeah.
But you got to have
that-
like
that stuff seems kinda
antiseptic
cool.
or something like that.
Could he slip on the vomit?
Probably.
What?
You
Metal
probably
Gear.
could.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
it is Metal Gear. So.
we'll see. We'll see how this turns out.
I don't know. The game looks good. I enjoyed my time with the beta. The visual presentation and the audio is really good. I once again, Metal Gear is known for its music, and it's got some really good music
Wait,
in this. I like
the
it.
music original?
Like it doesn't sound like Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool.
And he uses the rather well done character creator from MGS5.
Yeah, that is pretty. The character creator is pretty good too.
And you can create female characters now, which you couldn't do before.
Nice.
As far
you
as I
could do
remember.
in the Metal Gear Solid 5 beta online. You could.
Okay, the online, yeah.
You can do
I
female
played
characters.
so little of that.
Oh no, yeah, I was always a female.
Yeah.
It's nice to look at.
You heard it here first.
One final question. What would you say, like, you do in the game? That's a joke.
But on.
I'm probably going to try this. Gamefly, at least.
I think it's worth a GameFly. I think that there's a lot of little bits here that if the single player turns out to be a decent story,
Yeah.
I think it could come together to be a decent.
It'll be interesting because this is very much going to be kind of telling of like the future of what of Metal Gear in certain maybe not outright the future of Metal Gear, but it's gonna this could have implications. Oh my god, Krispy fell asleep.
I can't wait. Guys, I can't wait for the future of Metal Gear. I can't wait for them to get... I can't wait till they finally, inevitably farm it out to some Western studio. Because that's more exciting
I'm sure
to me than
it has
repurposing of assets.
There's potential for them to create maybe a good game with that IP.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be good. It just needs to be different and fresh.
Okay, yeah.
I want to see a different take. I want to see the Lords of Shadow of Metal Gear.
Ugh.
Why do you want to do that to people?
I think
why,
Mercury Steam
why do
could
you
do
want to
it.
Mercury Steam this up?
Because that's more exciting than this.
You got Metroid was ruined for you because Mercury Steam took it over, and now you have to
Castlevania.
punish everybody else.
Oh, and Metroid. Yeah, fuck my life.
Why do we have to go down on the burning ship with you?
Well, I mean, something's got to happen to it.
Sad. Yeah, that's a video game, and Nick has left the room.
I'll try.
I went to go get Krispy. I am back.
Is he awake?
Yeah.
He's back.
Okay.
Thank you. So we'll talk more about Metal Gear Survive when it
Yep.
launches next month, I'm sure.
It's not like there's 20 other games we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Good. I hope somebody finds time to play it.
I will play it.
Cool. Well, then we'll check.
It would
back
be
in
really
with
nice
you.
if our community would join me on PC.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
$40.
Maybe,
It's not $60.
it'll be.
Can't
I think it'll be
Gamefly
really
a PC
interesting
game.
to see how that game kind of pans out when it is out there and critics can get their hands on it. Yeah. That's all we have as far as impressions go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Switch.
Would you like to come back, Chris?
So
Okay.
we are going to move on to news. There's not a whole lot of news this week, but there's some stuff definitely worth mentioning. I'm gonna let Chris Davis get back to the computers before I bring up the first one here.
The Nintendo Labo.
Oh, do we want to get all the labia jokes out of the way now?
Yeah.
Oh,
You weren't on the show last week.
Nah, it's okay. It's boxes.
labia.
Oh wait.
I didn't even think
Crispy
of
wasn't
that.
here last week.
Oh, you weren't here last week.
wasn't
Neither
here.
one of y'all were here last week. I
No.
forgot. It was a 3-player.
We
show.
don't need to. I mean, y'all talked about it last week. Y'all did a
did.
fine job.
Yeah, Nolan said labia about 25
It's
times.
for little kids. Little kids also destroy things. It's too much.
Yep.
I will say this for those who may be disappointed in our Nintendo Labo discussion on this episode. One, we had a really good conversation about it last week, so check it out. Two, we also had a really good conversation about it before the podcast tonight. Like we weren't recording.
Yeah.
Damn.
Always be recording.
ABR.
Always be recording. Anyways, few news topics I want to bring up this week. First one being quick one, but we finally have a release date for God of War. And it's April 20th, 420. 420 Blaze It.
Blaze it. Too bad I can't play it because I'll be watching Super Troopers 2.
Isn't it the
The
same day?
as Labo.
Yeah.
Labo.
Same day as
yeah,
Labo.
no, I thought that was funny that Nintendo's little build your own cardboard thing came out on 420.
Yeah,
That's interesting, Nintendo.
that's weird. But yeah, honestly, I'm pretty happy with that release date because March was already getting really, really crowded, and there were starting to be rumors that it was going to be releasing around the same time at the end of March, around like Far Cry 5.
Do you know what's not crowded?
What?
February. Ain't shit coming out in February.
Good.
What?
Yeah.
Good.
Look at
Let
the
me
list.
fucking catch up.
Ain't shit.
I still need time to catch
I
up.
feel like I have like 3 games coming out in
No.
February.
2018, slow
For
your
me,
fucking roll.
it's Shadow of the Colossus, Moss.
Woo! We got to talk about Shadow of the Colossus.
No, I don't want to have
We'll
that
just save
conversation. I don't want to have the conversation.
We need to have it.
What conversation do you want to have about it, Brad?
About Shadow of the Colossus.
What about it? How it looks?
Yeah.
You're gonna have this like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to have this conversation.
Someone's point. Listen, dude, you don't have to take it personally. Just my opinion. By all means, buy this game.
Nick,
But I
never care about Brad's opinions. Just let him talk.
I mean,
I just feel like it's like we're getting like a really, really like solid remake for a game that's like beloved.
It
and,
had-
like,
it had-
everyone is excited as fuck, and then like a week or two before the game releases, like suddenly just some
listen,
people
man,
are
I
like,
was not shouting from the rooftops ever about this thing, and I was at E3 when it was announced.
whatever.
I've always been like, kind of why?
I think it's
why
kinda
does this
crazy.
exist? And I still believe, why does it exist when it already had
Money.
like that version of the game that cleaned up the frame rate, 16:9. They already HDified the game, and that's a great version of the game. I feel like this one is kind of killing some of the art style.
That was a
of that
remaster. This
game.
is a
Right.
remake.
Easy money.
But
No,
is it
no,
easy?
I know
This is
why
a-
it exists. I
this
know
is-
why it exists. I'm saying, why does it artistically exist, or why? It's like a lot of analogies going around. It's like someone said, you know what? I could like redo the Mona Lisa and add a little more detail.
Make
But
it
like-
look like a
but
monkey
that's
face.
like-
I feel like a Team Eco game is kind of art, and to redo all that art, like it does not look the same. There are some real differences going on there. Like it's a different color palette. I think there's like atmospherically like some different shit going on there.
If you play the game and then have those feelings still, I think they'll have more validity. But I feel like right now we're just kind of
I just
assuming.
think like the lack of assignment for me is because I think the original version of this game is great. They made kind of a cleaned up definitive version. What is
they
this?
remastered it. This is a remake. This is a straight up.
It is a art
ass-
asset remake.
Yes, the art assets for this game have
It
been completely
literally
remade.
plays. It has the same physics. It's the same
Yeah.
game in terms of like the Colossus, the way you interact
Sure.
with the world. It is an art asset remake.
Yes, it is an art asset remake. But
I don't necessarily think that's for the better. That's all. It almost
I
feels
will
like
happily take
it
it.
almost feels like a Skyrim PC mod 5 years after the game came out. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, we added like so much foliage and shit to this game.
sure, but like I don't see why that's necessarily a bad thing.
All right, well, this
Whatever,
we
but
need to do
that's totally
conversation
unrelated
going
to God
in
of War.
circles.
Trust
But
me.
imagine if
Brad, let's
Skyrim had like a really impressive art.
Let's
style.
have this conversation in a few
Alright.
weeks after the game comes out. How's that?
Yep,
Okay,
cool.
Well, I might not be here.
That's fine.
Sure.
Next time you're on the show, let's talk about it. Because by the time it'll be out by the time
Sure,
you're on the
sure.
show again.
I mean, I'm not gonna get it.
Well, I'm gonna get it. Then you can hear me talk about it.
Okay.
I'm sure someone else in this room planning on playing the remake of Shadow of the Colossus.
I have fucking time.
I look forward to playing it for the first time.
Boy, that'd be
Chris
nice.
Davis has
gonna
never
play
played it.
because he's never played it before. That's
Um,
good.
We'll see what happens. You said you commented about February being kind of empty. I'm in Shadow of the Colossus. Moss is also coming out. I'm very much looking forward to playing Moss.
Oh, I
I hope that's
Moss
good.
is one of those games where it's like it's a VR game, so I'm hoping it's short. I don't want to say that.
It
Like
will be.
I don't.
think that'll be-
I don't want.
I'm
I don't want it
guessing
to be short because
40
it's
hours.
Yeah, I don't want a 40-hour. Mainly because I don't have time. I want like a 6-hour.
Dude, I bet that's a 4-hour
really
experience.
fucking concise, beautiful, good time. That's what I want.
I think
out
that's
of
a
Moss.
4 to 5 or maybe 4 to 6
That's
hour
what I
game
want
tops.
out of it.
I would be shocked if it's anything more than that.
Yeah.
Which is not bad. I think that's great. All right, 2 more news topics I want to bring, or actually 3. One of which being let's talk about David Jaffe. His studio, the Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency. Goddamn, it's a hard studio name to remember. Hit with major layoffs. In fact,
I don't think they're a big studio in the first
yeah.
place.
In fact, it
Sounds like they're done.
they've had to lay off most of their development team. So, which is weird. When something like that happens, it just seems to me like, so what you're saying is the studio's done?
Well, I think the next project they were working on got canceled. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
right.
a multi-project studio.
It was tied to their next project was canceled before it even saw the light, before anyone even knew what it was. Obviously, this is the studio that worked on Drawn to Death, which Brad loved. And
I mean, wasn't on my top 10. Oh shit!
Oh,
Is that still
spoilers!
not out? Where's
No.
my top 10?
God damn it.
Spoilers. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. That fucking sucks. I to be honest though, I'm not super surprised following the reception of Drawn to Death, which kind of sucks. But I don't know. What do you want to say about it, Brad?
So for
Not much to say.
yeah.
Maybe don't joke about it because
What?
that's what the internet does.
Are they
That's-
joking about it?
I mean,
It's,
it's
not,
I
it's,
mean-
not, it's not something to joke about. I mean, it always sucks, especially with smaller studios, because, you know, if you don't have a game that's either super successful or the game you're working on loses its funding.
I mean, I think it's fucked up when anybody
whoever
jokes
was-
about people getting fired
whoever
or laid
was
off.
backing it, you know, drops out. What do? You can't. You have to pay your workers something, and if you can't pay them, yeah, you have to let them go. I mean, money doesn't just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. And Drawn to Death was not a successful venture for sure.
No, like Drawn to Death wasn't enough of a blip for people to joke about it. I think, like honestly, that's what it was. But it's very much like a Lawbreaker sort of thing, you know. Like it's funny because it's unsuccessful and because I know who the person is working on it, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, people say I didn't actually say I think Cliffy B is a slut whore, but I did post a screen cap every day of Lawbreaker numbers, but I wasn't actually joking about it. I just was posting info. You know, like people knew what they were doing, and it was very like
It's perpetuating.
It's terrible.
It's perpetuating this.
Like it's fucking terrible. Like I didn't even like it when people were doing it with Battleborn. Battleborn, is that what it's called?
From Gearbox?
Yeah,
From
Battleborn,
Gearbox.
yeah.
And I hate Randy Pitchford, but like still like it really rubbed me the wrong way the way people were just like laughing at the failures or supposed failures of the game, relative failure of the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus, people, have you ever tried creating anything ever? Because like
It's hard.
People did
shit.
pour their heart and soul into these projects, even
Yeah.
if they weren't successful. It's like, you know, like, well, I think a lot of this happened when Mass Effect Andromeda came out too, and that game was a technical mess. Like, people were just talking so much shit about the game and the people responsible for making the game that, like,
people were like attacking the specific artists or
Yeah.
something that like worked
That
on
did
like
suck.
oh yeah,
face
didn't
tech
they?
and
Weren't
stuff.
they like threatening
Yeah,
people who
harassing
like
people, yeah.
worked on facial animations and
Yeah.
stuff? Like, that's uncalled for and ridiculous. So like, I don't know. We're kind of getting on a tangent.
Long
I
story
mean-
short, don't be assholes.
Yeah.
Also, I really hope the people
Lord.
land on their feet, and I hope.
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
still interested to see. I mean, David Jaffe will line something up. I don't know what.
Well,
it will
I
be.
mean, maybe. I mean, that's the thing. I
He'll
mean,
always
you
be
can
the
look
guy
at
that
David Jaffe with Cliffy B. They both were like at big successful companies and created big successful projects. But apparently, you know, for whatever reasons, we're like, okay, I'm going to go try to start my own new thing. And it didn't work
Well, the thing
for
is,
either of them.
starting your own new thing is very difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
it takes something, some balls at least, to try even.
I mean, the good thing is for both of them is they will even though their recent projects, their creative ventures ended up not being successful necessarily. Like, they still will always be the guy that made Gears of War and the guy that made God of War and Twisted Metal, and, you know, like, they always have that to fall back on. Like, some of the people below them working at these studios, you know, they're just kind of out of a job, which kind of sucks. But, you know, we've talked about it plenty of times. Every time layoffs happen, though, this industry is very much this is not unusual for this
Volatile
industry.
yeah.
Even if you work on a project, even if it's unsuccessful, you know, a lot of people, you know, they get picked up at other studios really
Dude,
quickly.
if you work on a project and it's successful, sometimes you still lose your fucking job.
yeah. Speaking
That's
of
how
which,
the video game industry works.
nice transition, because the next studio is actually kind of the opposite of this. Is Crystal Dynamics, who is working, you know, we know them as the guys who've been working on Tomb Raider for a very long time. I'm assuming they're also working on a new Tomb Raider game now, but they're also working on a Avengers game project.
Yeah.
And they've recently hired people who are ex Naughty Dog and ex Visceral Games. So guys who worked on Uncharted and Dead Space have now been picked up to work on their Avengers game. What's kind of blowing my mind is, you know, obviously it's Marvel, so it's going to be a big deal. But like when they first started talking about this Marvel game or this Avengers game, in my head, for whatever reason, I was thinking this was going to be like Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light or something like that kind of game. But this is very much like a big like AAA action game they're building. Is what it sounds like.
Hey, I mean,
So and it's
superheroes,
snowballing.
all the rage past few years. I'm sure they're trying to hop onto that and
Yeah,
get
for
something.
sure. I mean,
I don't know exactly the
this
style
is
it's gonna be,
this is
but-
the thing that this is getting talked about more than whatever the next Tomb Raider is at this point. So like,
What do you think of
okay.
related to Marvel? What do you think of the Captain Marvel
Oh, you're talking about the
outfit? There's been some.
Oh, the
Brie Larson's
I
outfit.
haven't seen this.
I've only seen the picture.
It's green.
I haven't been. Yeah, it is green,
To the
but it looks
Googles.
cool. I think.
Yeah, I mean, they've very like they've. I know we're getting off
haven't-
topic here, but like it seems like Marvel's always been kind of about like they should especially when they introduce a new character that's never been, especially one that's never been on screen before, they tend to give it, fill in the backstory and whatnot, and they tend to maybe gravitate towards older versions of their costume before giving them their more iconic.
like Iron Man.
Sure.
Yeah, like Iron Man.
It.
For sure.
Yeah. There's a picture.
Yeah,
of
there it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the color scheme is different than what she has in the book.
I'm wondering if that's going to be what she's wearing the whole movie.
It reminds me a lot of the Ant-Man costume.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder
a
if
little
that's just a function of like the one that she wears in the book is real like red, white, and blue. I mean, it's red and blue accented with a lot of gold. Maybe they're just trying to make her look different. Than
I think they're
Captain
building
America.
up to that though.
I kind of like. I don't really know how to talk about this, but I kind of like.
Oh God.
The back of the costume?
No. I like their
Bracing myself.
let's see, these types of big budget like I guess comic book movies embrace a certain body image for female characters, and she doesn't necessarily seem like that, and I think that's a really good thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Do you mean as far as the costume or as far as her?
Her
Casting.
both. I mean, yeah,
For sure.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
and she's the star of the movie, so that's great.
I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm also getting very, very excited for. I didn't realize how excited I was for Black Panther, and I think I've been starting to like hear some of the soundtrack. Like the soundtrack's a big deal because
Soundtrack's really
Kendrick
good,
Lamar is
yeah.
doing it, and like
Black
that
Panther-
movie looks stylish as fuck, and the soundtrack sounds dope as hell. I'm like,
I still have no
getting
idea
really-
what that movie's about based on any of the trailers I've seen.
Wakanda.
Black Panther's gonna be
isn't that a good thing? Like
dope.
maybe you'll be surprised.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know like what the moving parts are. Like, who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? What is going on here? It just seems like a bunch of people standing
Black
around.
Panther's
I
a
can
good
tell you
guy.
what I can tell you what it's about, but at this
Michael
point, I don't
B.
want to spoil
Jordan.
it.
Michael B. Jordan's a bad guy.
Bad guy.
But how am I supposed to know that?
Because in the trailer, he's like,
Yeah, it's true. He was kind of,
like-
but I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of
He's
people
like
were
mincing
going
about
in the
for,
trailer.
Like his, I don't know. What's the thing he says in the trailer? I don't remember.
he says something, yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that
bad.
tweet about the reporter saying, like, I don't remember who it was, but it was offering like $300 to anybody who would seriously, in a press like junket or whatever, ask Trump his opinions on the current
On Wakanda?
United States Wakanda relations.
I don't want to know what he would say to that.
Oh, I wish that would happen.
But I also kind of do. But yeah, so we kind of went on a kick on Marvel there, but or a sidetrack on Marvel. But yeah, Crystal Dynamics hiring lots of big name talent from other big studios to work on the new Avengers game. I want to know what the fuck this. I hope this year we at least find out what this game is, so I can have a
That'd be
better
nice,
idea.
yeah.
Like I don't know what the scope is. Like what kind of progression is. Like is it open? Is it linear? Like what is this? Who do you play
A
as?
good Marvel game would be awesome.
Just the other day, I had a copy of Spider-Man 3 in my hand, and it had like a $3 price tag. And you know what I said? I put it back on the shelf.
Yeah, hey, remember that? Remember when that was the first game I bought with my PS3?
nice.
I did. Yeah.
It's been a while. I feel like it's been a while since we had any sort of
Don't for-
halfway worthwhile.
Well, don't forget we're getting
representation.
Spider-Man from Insomniac this year, and that
Yeah,
looks
we
like
are.
it's going to be great. Hope
are.
so far it does. Crossing fingers.
But I
knock
almost
on
feel
wood.
like-
Somebody knock on wood.
I almost feel like a good Spider-Man game and a good Marvel game are still like two
They're
Different things,
separated
yeah.
entities.
If you want to see something interesting, look up the canceled THQ Australia Avengers game.
Oh,
THQ Australia.
THQ doing an Avengers game. When
Avenger
did-
It was
game.
a co-op first-person brawler.
But no, that sounds no, thank you.
First-person brawler.
Co-op
Yeah.
first-person
Why?
brawler. Like Xenoclash?
Kinda, yeah.
That sounds bad. I don't think. I think I'm going to remain blissfully ignorant on that one. All right, two more quick news topics. Actually, sorry, one more quick news topic. This is actually Platinum Games related. And I think we have footage for this, right?
Yeah.
So people keep forgetting, and rightfully so, maybe.
Just to be clear, this is not a new announcement.
I know, but this is the first time they've shown footage of it, right? Or like
I think so,
or an
yes.
extensive amount of
First
footage.
footage.
Platinum Games has been working on a JRPG for a little while
In
now.
an existing IP?
Now that is something I didn't know until you told me that earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't. So they're working on Granblue Fantasy :
Recoded?
relinked,
It's
recoded.
a spin-off of the Granblue mobile series.
Oh, of
that's
course.
really successful in Japan.
Oh shit! There's
God damn it, Chris Davis.
But this is
God damn it.
I
There
don't
we
mind
go.
hearing some audio. But this is like a real ass. They're making a game,
Correct.
It looks beautiful.
like a real game.
I do
Yeah.
want to say I think the beginning of this, like we probably won't talk about this very long, but the
Yeah,
first like
this is like
the first like 5 minutes of this footage
walking.
is like just walking around looking at. But the game looks absolutely gorgeous.
It does look really good.
And the music sounds pretty good too. And if you skip a little bit later, there's actually I think combat
Oh, yeah.
somewhere, a whole bunch of combat.
Yeah.
Which looks pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, no one's really talking about this, but like Platinum has got projects.
Yeah.
Projects on top of projects.
I feel like Platinum
And, like,
always
this-
has projects.
This looks pretty solid. Like this looks good.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at this and I'll watch this next to like some Nino Kuni 2 footage, and it's like I want to play this one.
Oh, no,
You know
I
what I
agree,
mean?
yeah. This definitely
it's
looks
like-
better than Nino Kuni.
That's a low blow at Nina Cooney.
Not necessarily. They do different things.
I'm
but
just
I
saying,
mean,
like
if I was forced to play one of them, this one does look slightly more exciting, I guess.
just combat. I'm
Yeah.
saying like that. Platinum knows how to do combat. To see them do it in a more RPG,
I mean, I'm-
setup
I
sounds
love
very
seeing-
appealing.
I love seeing Platinum like do their thing in different genres. I think that's totally
Yeah.
cool. That's why I
I
think.
mean, granted, the other RPG they were working on got canceled. So
But they also made Nier Automata, which is in itself maybe not like it's not like this. It's an action RPG, I guess, but like.
Yeah.
I guess it's maybe more of an action game than an RPG, but like they were starting to dabble in RPGs with that, and see them experiment in other genres and other franchises in general, I think has been really, really exciting. So, Platinum continues just to be like one of my favorite studios. Just every time they finish something, it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they fucking do next.
just always thank God for Nier Automata. No one likes to think of a world where Platinum just gets shut down, but like never forget that this was a studio that left or that was dissolved by Capcom after making
Okami.
Beautiful Joe, Okami, and God Hand,
Yeah. it's kinda
which are
silly.
like three of the dopest games. Period.
That's the end of that.
And they
sentence?
were all good, like
Yeah.
incredible, actually. So to think that a studio like that can get dissolved, or it's already happened.
Nobody
once,
is safe.
and, like, yeah, it doesn't matter how much talent they have, no one's safe.
Yeah.
So,
But Nier Automata was so successful, I think that kind of like guaranteed, at least the
I mean,
foreseeable future
at least
for them.
another game, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, even like this project is cool as hell, but I don't see this being like a huge commercial success for the studio. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, maybe in Japan it will be, because like you said, this game is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
This series is huge in Japan.
Yeah,
I don't think
the
this is going to
mobile
be.
game, yeah.
I don't think this is going to be a huge success here in the States. I mean, I'm assuming this is going to come out in the West, but
I mean, everything does these days. I mean, right?
yeah.
Why would something that looks like this not come out over here?
Yeah, that's
True.
true. I would play the shit out
I mean,
of
the
this.
thing is, like, it'll be successful enough in Japan that it'll justify the cost of releasing it here
Yeah,
in the
for
States.
sure.
So that's cool. I think that in and of itself makes this a fairly safe project. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what comes of this, because this does look cool as hell. And I think that's it for news. So with that said, oh shit,
What's up?
okay, you have your phone. Okay,
Yeah,
For-
I'm ready.
let's answer some questions from our supporters on Patreon.
Oh, okay. It's the community.
Oh my god, he busted out a harmonica this week. Oh,
all right. It's time.
that was
for,
so exciting.
It's time for the community. Yay, third part of the show. Community, we love you so much. Unfortunately, no new patrons this week, but that's okay. We still love you. But we do have some questions from our patrons.
Reminder though, I did send out. We have had new patrons very recently enough.
Correct. We have
recently
one last
enough,
week. Yeah.
Recently enough that I just sent out some new mugs.
So first question this week from Naluffy.
I know her.
Are there any video game moments in your childhood or adolescence that left you uncomfortable? One moment I can recall is when I was around 13 to 14. I was playing Final Fantasy X-2 for the first time, and I came across the Chateau LeBlanc. LeBlanc? I don't know. Massage minigame.
Ooh.
Her weird, quote, noises left me uncomfortable and confused. Granted, I grew up in quite a conservative household.
Man, I didn't play that game enough apparently because I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
I got to a point in that game and stopped, but now I'm kind of curious to go back and play it. Man, parts in games that made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened.
I'm trying to think. I'm sure there was
I think one of the obvious ones. I think Heavy Rain, the kind of the weird.
Well, in childhood or
rape dream.
adolescence.
Oh, in our adolescence.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was kind of taking this as like, were there any moments when you were younger that was kind of like confusing? You didn't really understand it, maybe, or my first thought when I was reading this was, something that happened when I was younger, but I didn't get it. But now that I'm older, I do. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the best way.
I mean, I don't know
think
how
about
uncomfortable this made me feel, but like the first thing that kind of popped into my head was like Final Fantasy VII when Cloud's dressing as a woman.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny too. Like I don't think it made me feel uncomfortable.
He's dressed like a lady.
But like I was pretty young, I think, when I played that game.
But the scene where they're about to be fucked by Don.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about
that
that.
was weird.
And then they talk about crushing his balls. I'm gonna step on him, and they're like, I'm gonna crush him.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, what about the hot tub with the bodybuilding
The hot tub with all the
dudes?
big guys? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Seven had some
that
weird
game had a
stuff.
lot
And
of
they're like, you
uncomfortable
hear like
moments.
rubbing sounds.
I can't wait till we see that in the remake.
Oh, that's not gonna make it in the remake.
Fucking
HD.
Promising some of the
much
weirder shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there'll be some weird shit in it, but it'll probably be repurposed in such a way that it's not.
Probably.
Final Fantasy VII's brilliant.
That's a tough question. I can't really think of too many.
First of all, you got to remember, for me, it's kind of hard to go too far back because I was kind of a late bloomer when it came to these games. So like a lot of these stories will be from when I was like early teens, I guess. So I wasn't really that young, but like I remember once playing. I had the PS2 hooked up in my living room, and my parents were like in the kitchen, like making dinner or something, and I was playing The Suffering, and whoo, there are so many F-bombs in the first 10-15 minutes of that game that my dad poked out and was like, what the hell are you doing in there? And I remember that making me feel very like
Eternal Darkness had some weird stuff.
Yeah,
for me when I was younger, I would say. I don't know. I can't really think of any. We can move on. Next question from Nexus. Hey guys, who do you think are the greatest actors/actresses of all time?
Ooh,
that is
weird.
tough.
Daniel Day-Lewis,
You know,
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis is good.
Philip Seymour
Sam
Hoffman's a good
Rockwell
choice.
is one that more and more lately I'm just like, he's so fucking good.
Man, I don't.
Sam Rockwell.
I feel like I should have like a go-to answer for this. I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it though.
Yeah, no, like this is. I don't like. I like Michelle Williams a lot.
Michelle Williams
is good. Yeah, she's
Yes.
good.
From I don't know why this is the first role that popped into my head, but you're talking about the one from
The one.
from that show,
Yeah.
Dawson's Creek.
She's in all my favorite episodes of Dawson's Creek.
I've seen her in something recently. What the hell did I see her in recently?
She's like in 8 movies a year, dog.
Is she
what's
really?
what's her most recent one? I've seen her something recently, and it's going to drive me crazy.
I don't know what you saw recently.
I don't know, dude. You're killing me. She's like your favorite actor. You can't name a few movies she's been in recently. She must not be that special.
I'm trying to think of a movie you would have seen.
Oh, give me some credit, Brad. I hate you. I hate you so much. Oh, so
James Stewart.
Wangless brought up Manhunt.
James Stewart,
the
I
last
think, is
question.
a great actor. I love James Stewart. Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, I got it.
That's all you got?
That's all I got. He's the only one. Everyone else sucks.
I'm gonna keep thinking.
Actually,
about it. Who's our
Best actor, actress.
favorite actor or actress of all time? And it's just, I feel like
Jimmy Stewart.
That's really tough. I mean, there's so many. Like, I like Jeff Bridges a lot.
Jeff Bridges
dude,
is
if you like Jeff Bridges, you need to be watching Godless.
I know.
Wait, no, sorry, that's not Jeff Bridges. That was Jeff Daniels.
Those are very different
I
people.
know, very different people. You know, well, you can see why.
Jeff Daniels is a really good actor.
Jeff
He's a
Daniels
pretty
is
good
really
actor,
good,
though.
and he's really, really, really good.
Nick, did you ever
in
see
Godless.
the HBO? What was that Newsroom?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a great fucking
Sigourney
show.
Weaver is a really good actor.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Robert Redford.
Yeah, Robert.
Chris Davis is
Redford.
bringing up Rod. Wait, who?
Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier.
Oh my
Poitier.
god. Let's just move on.
Every time
making
a
up weird
question like
names?
this comes up, I feel like Chris Davis dates himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, no.
The fact that he said Robert Redford.
He said,
Hey, Robert
Sidney
Redford's a good
Poitier.
actor. I'll give
Robert Redford and Paul Newman in The Sting. Oh my god. Come on.
everyone is expecting me to say Matt Damon, but Matt Damon has just as many misses as he has hits. I'm
Roy
trying to think of
Scheider.
What
someone.
was that movie with him and Greg Kinnear? Where they were conjoined twins.
Oh fuck! I forgot he was in that.
Right?
dude. Woo!
Right? Matt Damon
Hey, I'm
and
gonna be
Greg
honest.
Kinnear were conjoined twins
I'll be
in
honest.
a movie.
Matt Damon is probably up there for me as favorite actors, but he has a lot of stinkers as well. So
Did anyone see that movie, that new one that just came out when he's like a tiny man?
Downsize?
Downsize.
My boss said he went and saw that, and he
Yeah.
left in the middle of it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted that
Like
to be good.
maybe if that wasn't the most recent thing on my mind, I would be more comfortable saying
because he
Matt
was
Damon.
also in that other Suburbicon or whatever.
Suburbicon. I saw that. That was okay.
Mediocre.
Yeah, it was mediocre.
Yeah.
Man.
All right, let's move on. Next question from Mr. Green Toast. What's the dumbest thing you've got?
Ooh. Sorry, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine?
He's good.
Pretty good.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. What's the dumbest thing you've done because your brain was on autopilot? For example, I was getting myself a drink from the fridge when my mother asked me from the other room to make her coffee. I said sure. Then, without thinking, I poured my cup of orange juice into the coffee maker.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Into the coffee maker,
Oh, I've done some dumb stuff on autopilot,
dude. Yeah, I'm glad this
Trying to
happens.
remember it.
I'm glad this happens
This
to a lot of
happens
people.
to everyone. Yeah.
I cut myself with fabric shears one time, and not like cut myself like one time I was just talking to my mom.
I was
and
playing with fabric
I was
shears.
just looking at these fabric shears. And I was like, "Oh, this is kind of," and I just went like that, and it just like sliced
Yeah.
my thumb.
You're just like, I wonder what'll happen if I
And
rub
was
this
like,
against my
"Oh,
skin.
why did I just do that?" Like immediately.
That's good. Oh man, I don't remember what it was. I remember carrying something into the kitchen, and I was thinking about something else. I don't remember. I'm sorry, this is many terrible stories. I don't remember what it was, but it didn't need to go in the fridge,
Yeah.
and I put it in the fridge.
Oh, I've done that before.
And then, like-
put something in the fridge that doesn't go in the fridge.
and then like a
just
day
not
later, I
thinking.
was like, "Where the fuck did I put that?" And I opened
Yeah.
the fridge, and it was right there. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
But it had no business being in the fridge at all. I have no idea what it was.
I once drove all the way to Cedar Park when I actually meant to drive to Kyle.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh, that's. I'm sorry.
fuck?
Okay, I'm sorry. That's too good. Just in case people couldn't hear that, because Chris Davis was off camera.
He essentially drove to North Austin instead of driving south of Austin.
But like that's like a 30 mile. Well,
Yeah.
not 30 miles.
Nah, 30 miles.
It's like,
That's like
but
20 miles.
depending
pretty
on what
far.
time of day it was, it could have been like an hour.
No, Kyle to Cedar Park, that's pretty far.
It was middle of the afternoon. It could have been an
Cedar
hour
Park to Kyle?
out of your
That's
way.
pretty
more
far.
than 30
Well,
How did
he
you
didn't
do that?
That's like driving to Kyle instead of driving to Nolan's for the podcast, which is like
Yeah.
you'd be whatever you were planning on doing. I would just been like, fuck it, it's not happening.
I've definitely done that before driving. Not like that far out of the way, but kind of like all of a sudden being like, what the fuck am I going? Like, I'm not going the right way at all.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's ever been any like seriously dumb, like just like little dumb things I've done.
Yeah, like, I think there was at least once where I was like driving to work and I was just thinking about something in the car, and to go to Robbins I typically have to drive by my work, and I just went past work and went down, and then I had to do a turnaround to come around when I finally realized I was like, where the fuck am I going?
There's definitely been times, even in the past not too long from now, like Brenda and I went somewhere and then we were driving somewhere else, and she's like, where are you going? I was like, home.
I don't know.
And she's like, we're not going home, we're going here. I was like, oh, fucking forgot. Okay, sorry. Like, it's one of those things, sometimes when I get in my car, normally I just drive home.
Man,
And
Chris
yeah.
Davis, that's brutal.
Yeah. All right, moving on. I think autopilot is something that does happen in your car very often.
Yeah.
It's when you get into those familiar scenarios, like your brain knows when I'm in this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next question from Wingless. Since all first-party Microsoft games are coming to Game Pass going forward,
We didn't talk about that. Or was that last week?
No, that's new.
yeah, that's new. I
Yeah,
forgot
Game
about that.
Pass.
Hey, guys.
that-
Guys, I got on Discord today and said, hey, what news do you want to talk about? And I got nothing.
I haven't heard about
yeah,
this.
well, the $10 a month thing that they do to If you have an Xbox One, you pay like $10 a month. You have access to a library of games, like usually older stuff, 360 stuff.
Okay.
Now, all of their first-party
Games will be on that.
are just going to be on that. Which means if you're paying $10
$10
a month
for every
and
new game?
Halo 6 comes out, you get Halo 6
At launch.
at launch.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That's interesting.
If Crackdown 3 comes out and you're doing the $10 a month thing, you get Crackdown 3.
What?
It's ambitious. It's kind of desperate. I mean, obviously, their first-party lineup
their
kind of sucks
first-party
and they're
lineup
in last
sucks,
place or
and,
whatever. But, or you know,
Well, let me finish reading question. Since all first-party Microsoft games are coming to Game Pass going forward, and with a big internal push to get more indie games with that horrible ID at Xbox title, as well as new exclusives in 2018, do any of you see Xbox consoles gaming becoming a preferred option for you? Most of everyone on the show seems to play either PS4 or PC or Switch on stream, but the quality of life on Xbox seems to be improving more and more each year.
Each year, I think that's kind of a...
Yeah, that's for me. That's the thing is like, and I still feel bad, and I'm sure they do. But like everyone bought me an Xbox One for Christmas that one
Also,
year. Never fucking.
You gotta
used
remember.
it.
You gotta remember too. This is first party stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
So like, yeah. I mean,
which Microsoft's notoriously bad at. But there were rumors of a new
but
Fable.
like, but it kind of invalidates part of the question because you can't play first party Microsoft games on PlayStation. So of course I'd prefer playing an Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're comparing it to PC, which I
Will
mean,
this get me to buy an Xbox? Fuck no.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
it
buy
might
an
get me to.
Xbox.
I mean, no, just knowing my habits.
Remember, all those games are also coming to PC, which are already out.
and then that's
there's
the thing.
like going to be 2 that I want in the next 4 years.
The
probably.
fact that they will all be on PC is just for me. I have a PC that's better than an Xbox. There's no reason for me to buy an Xbox.
Yeah,
that's my.
I already
that's
played
my.
Recore.
I am still holding on to my Xbox, but like.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You have one that you've used
but
quite a bit. Don't get rid of it.
I don't know. I wouldn't say I've used
But
it.
I know.
quite
I'm
a
not
bit.
saying you're going to. I'm just saying that. I mean, this could be something you might look into. Maybe just
Yeah.
because.
But I
you
mean,
can-
if you're already paying for the subscription, you're just going to get Scalebound.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it, Brad.
God damn. Damn it, Brad.
But if you already have a good PC and a Steam Link, you're good to go. Play
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, as long as your Steam Link is hardwired, and you don't hit any of those edge cases with weird games that don't
Well, I
work
tried
with
the
certain
Steam Link
controllers.
wireless, and it's actually okay.
It depends on how close it is to your router.
Depending on what kind of game you're playing.
Yeah, and the quality of the game. Fallout 4 on Steam Link wireless, not that great.
Not so
I
much.
couldn't get my wireless controller to work, though.
What controller?
I tried a variety. They would work fine in the interface, but when I get into the game, it just wasn't working.
So that's what I'm saying though, is they definitely have issues with controllers in Steam Link. There is Anyway, moving on. Wingless also adds also for Chris Davis.
Oh, wait, I think there's 2 questions from Wingless having directed at Chris Davis this week.
No, just one.
Oh, okay.
That last question, and then there's this question.
Okay.
For Chris Davis, would you rather live in virtual reality?
All right. If Chris Davis has to answer this question, he's gonna need to get over here. 'Cause-
Well, I can finish asking the question.
Sure.
while-
Sure. This is a follow-up to the question he asked you last week.
Let me ask the question. Would you rather live in virtual reality where you are all powerful, or live in the real world and be able to go anywhere but not be able to interact with anyone or anything? So all powerful or your normal life.
I like the normal life one. Because you could do anything and no one would notice.
Did he modify his question? I feel like I read his question in an email today and it was different.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's asking me if I want to be the lawnmower man or if I want to be.
You're gonna have to get closer.
Interesting
'cause
take.
This mic doesn't pick up very well.
I mean, you didn't have to choose the lawnmower man.
I mean, that's what the lawnmower man is.
I'll be honest. I've never seen the Lawnmower Man.
Hey, you're not missing much. It's very early 90s.
All right, I'll go remove that from my weekend to-do list.
You
Yeah.
should. I think they're like bringing that back.
Oh no.
I guess real world.
All right,
I'd
you
rather
heard.
not be the lawnmower man.
But here's the thing.
I choose road
virtual.
rules.
Yeah, so virtual reality, you're all powerful. Like, what does that get you though? Like, I don't understand. And if you're in the real world, but you can go anywhere, but you can't interact with anyone or anything. So I understand. It depends on the person. Some people I think would have the mental capability to be okay with that, not being able to interact with people. But the fact that you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can go, if you want to go see the pyramids at Giza, go for it. You want to see the Great Wall? Go. You just go anywhere. The fact that you could go could you go to the moon?
The women's locker room.
But you could do that
There
in
you go.
virtual reality too.
But it's
Yeah, I know. Like,
A virtual recreation. It's not the real thing.
But we don't know.
But
that
is it the
this
real thing if
isn't
you
a
can't interact
virtual
with it?
recreation.
I mean, now we're getting into some philosophical bullshit.
which is the point of the question. All right. Anyway, thanks, Wingless.
What is reality but a series of inputs gathered by your senses?
Thanks, Architect.
Right? So, virtual reality, if it's good enough, will be indistinguishable from reality.
God damn it!
that just
You're
makes me-
quoting the fucking architect.
That just
aren't you?
yeah.
No,
that,
I'm not.
that just makes me think of
Vis-a-vis
that.
concordantly,
God damn it, Crispy. God damn it.
this inherent systemic anomaly.
Stop it. I'm gonna mute your mic. That just makes me think of that VR thing I showed you a while back of like it was like a girl on all fours and the guy had VR hands and he just started like playing her butt like bongos.
Architect. You know,
Matrix.
I've seen
Shut
that.
up.
I've seen that movie one time.
Yeah.
Really?
Cause fuck that movie.
Okay. Final question.
I own
Shut
that
the fuck
movie.
up. Arxidus asks, what are some of your favorite drinks? What type of alcohol produces the smoothest buzz for you? And are there types of alcohol you're not a fan of? If you don't drink alcohol, are you into any food and or drink combinations that other people would find strange or unpleasant?
All right,
I think all of us here drink alcohol. So
I put
mean,
onions on pizza.
you monster! Oh my god.
I can start off by saying alcohols I'm not a fan of. Tequila.
I'm not a big
I'm
tequila
not a
fan.
tequila guy.
You know, whiskey is one that like I want to be into and I want to like, and I keep drinking it, thinking like, oh yeah, I like whiskey, but it just like it turns me into a jerk when I get drunk. Like I'm just an asshole.
I don't
and
think that's the
don't
whiskey.
like
It just gets you there quicker.
it. Shut up.
No,
I'm definitely much. It's a much like harsher, more belligerent drunk than anything else.
I like whiskey, but I've found as I'm getting older, it hits me a lot harder.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I mean, I still enjoy it.
But you don't drink like you did in college.
No,
don't
although
think any of
sometimes I
us do.
forget that, and then I do, and then I regret it.
Well, yeah. So that's my
instantly.
thing is I don't drink I don't drink normally anymore. So sometimes when like a party or something, like yeah, let's get drunk, and I'm like, oh man, now I just feel bad.
I've
Like,
been drinking a lot of wine lately. Why is that funny?
No, it's not funny. It's just funny from you. I don't know.
No,
I just imagine Nick sitting on his couch with the
Yeah,
fireplace
like by
going,
himself.
and he gets a snifter, and he's just like,
Just a DVD of Dexter in one hand and a
"Oh, I was
glass of wine.
I was gonna say,
I know,
him rewatching the Bourne Identity or something."
I did.
Smallville season 3.
I did cook myself.
Pairs well with.
I did cook myself a nice meal with the
Pinot Noir.
cloth over my shoulder the other night. Played some music, drank some wine, then lit the fireplace and watched a
Were
movie.
you alone?
Yes,
I could just imagine being like,
Man.
"Yes, this is a nice."
but I also do that a lot when.
Tell me it's at least
he's like,
red wine.
He's
But
like,
yes,
"It's a
it's red
nice
wine.
red."
What movie?
Yes,
I don't
nice
fucking-
red.
Actually, it was probably. I think I watched Godless on Netflix. I was just watching a show.
Rosé pairs.
No, yeah, no. I've been drinking a lot of red wine. I mean, fuck all of you. Red wine. You asked me what the smoothest like buzz is for me. It's become wine. I can
the
drink.
tannins.
I can drink wine
tannins.
and
the
like.
tannins.
So
It's the smoothest buzz, but the worst fucking hangover.
really.
Yes,
So
wine hangovers
I'll-
are the fucking
I'll
worst.
say that. What are you, a 40-year-old woman? No, I'm just kidding.
He was watching
just
The
kidding, Nick. Calm down.
Crown. Don't believe him for a second.
For me, I don't like red wine. I've never been a fan of it. It's I guess the tannins, the aromatics that get all up in you. I don't like it very much.
I love it when those get tannins get all up
so
in me.
I will drink white wine.
You monster.
Champagne. I do like, mimosas are actually pretty good.
Oh my god.
What's up, Nick?
New Year's party. Somebody brought shambongs. Have you heard of these?
The fuck?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Never doing that again?
Okay.
Is it a bong filled with champagne?
No, it's a champagne glass
That
that has
sounds
has
classy.
like the stem, and then the stem curves
Oh,
up.
Jesus.
So you tilt it down and you pour the champagne in, and then you just take it back, but it's like
Oh,
it's like that much
God.
champagne, but you take it like a
Wow.
shot essentially.
Jesus.
Woo!
Well,
Man.
that reminded me of, I guess Nick was the only one here that was when that happened. When Bernadette got accepted into pharmacy school, we had a big party, and she made Jello shots.
Oh no!
Which is you take like syringes, and instead of putting the Jello in like a little cup, you just suck it up into one of those like not a syringe with a needle, but just the opening.
So you can
And-
completely.
So when you take the
surpass your
shot, you just
tongue.
and it's just in. And you do. I guess you don't really realize it, and you do a
Dude.
couple of those, and then all of a
I
sudden,
swear to God, I probably had like 12 Jello shots that night
Yeah.
because you could essentially put the put it into your mouth and like completely bypass your tongue, and it just
Yeah.
goes right past it. You have no idea how much alcohol you're actually ingesting. Whew, man, I was drunk.
That night might have been the drunkest I ever got. It was
fun,
pretty
though.
fucking crazy.
And then I remember for like a year, every time we were gonna do some kind of get together, it was like, tell Bernadette to bring the
Jello
the
shots?
Jello shots,
Yeah.
like literally the shots
Yeah.
with the Jello in them. It was great.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm into beer.
I remember
some
that
good
night
craft beers.
at
What's
the
up?
end of the night, everyone had thrown like the empty like syringes into the
Into the sink? Yeah.
and it was just like piled to
Yeah.
like the edge
All
of the
these
sink,
syringes.
just all these empty syringes. Like people are fucking hammered.
Yeah. I mean, I do like some. There's Texas. I mean, at least Austin has a lot of craft breweries around here that are good. I just found out about one that opened up just like 5 minutes north of me.
Oh,
They used to just do kegs. They just used to sell it,
Yeah.
to like
now they have their
bars
own
and stuff.
brewery.
But now they actually just started canning their own beer.
oh, nice.
And you can go to the brewery.
I'm also a big fan of IPAs. I
hate
drink
hops.
lots of IPAs.
But no, that's funny. There's actually the HEB near me has like I don't know if there's a term for it, but he's like a beer sommelier. He's a guy.
That's probably not the term. But
I know, but he always wears like a vest and like a bow tie, and like he just fucking knows everything about every beer they have. And every time he comes in, he's like, "Oh, hey, what are you looking for today? Like, what can I interest you in?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I was kind of looking for this." He's like, "Oh, I got this new beer over here," and he's like, "Oh, this is a pin setter. It's actually from a local brewery. They used to bottle it out of
He's just like a fucking encyclopedia.
a
of
bowling
beer.
alley, but now they started exclusively selling with us. Would you like to try some?" Sure. And he like snaps it open, pours it in a little thing. He's like, spits it out and stuff. And I'm,
I was not expecting that.
I'm like,
It's all foamy coming out of his mouth.
I'm like, it's a. And I'm over here and I'm just like,
Spitting foam out.
it's beer.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, that's
It'll get you drunk.
it'll get you drunk. That's what I prefer, mainly just because they're usually. I'm
forgot about
I'm not
that,
a big
Krispy.
yeah. I'm not a big like hard alcohol guy. I like something that I can kind of.
But we've talked about this for a while.
Yeah.
Despite that.
Well, I'm saying I'm not into alcohol. I'm into like beer, like just because it's something I can sip and kind of enjoy.
You know what else you can sip and enjoy? Wine.
Yeah,
Fuck all you guys.
I like a good margarita.
margarita.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is all the questions this week from our patrons. Thank you, patrons. We appreciate those. We post a thread on Patreon every week before the show, and you can ask us any question
For
you
as
want.
little as $1 a month,
Yeah.
you can ask us anything and everything you'd ever dream. We may not answer everything depending on how creepy it gets, but
Yeah.
you can ask anything you want, and we'll probably answer it live on this show every week.
I can't be that into beer. I don't own a growler, so right. Can't be that into beer.
True that. All right. Let's wrap the show up, guys. 4-player minute. Hype, sweat, thank you, and fuck you. You remember how this works, Brad?
Nope.
Would you like to?
Well,
I'm going
Nick-
with 4 hypes.
Nick just explained it.
Would you like to go first, Brad? You used to.
Yeah. My hype is for Subnautica, which, I've been waiting 3 years. It's finally out of early access. I booted it up the other day, and oh my god, it was wonderful. I think I'm going to play it tomorrow. I don't know. My big sweat is for Monster Hunter World, because that is, one, a very addictive game, which I don't have a lot of time to get obsessed with something. 2, it is a game you want to play with, some friends, right? But I don't really have a schedule that can line up with other people's schedules.
I thought
And-
you were about to say I don't really have friends.
Well, that's true. Too.
Well, see, I'm worried that, like,
His best friend is Henry.
well, the reason I don't play a lot of multiplayer or co-op games specifically is I don't want to, like, hold someone back from playing their game. And I think in this one especially, everyone's going to, like, play it, like, nonstop and get so good at fighting all the monsters and whatnot that, like, I don't want to play with them. So I'm probably just going to play it single player. I don't know. But even single player, I'm still worried about getting, like, super addicted to it.
For sure.
My thank you goes to fuck it, more hypes. DBZ looks good, as fuck. I got that coming from GameFly. Are y'all gonna be playing DBZ?
Dude,
I haven't been talking about DBZ.
I actually have a 4-day weekend. I'm not going to work tomorrow, and I forgot that it's coming out tomorrow. So.
DBZ, man. It's got like a 10-hour single player.
So my
Story mode or
my
some
current
shit.
plan is to try and Redbox it and just blow through the
Is that
single player.
Redbox?
I don't know, maybe.
I will.
Monster Hunter.
I will take this opportunity to say that probably next week before the show, we're gonna sit down and play some matches of Dragon Ball Z.
I am
on the
also
feed.
I'm also excited for Celeste, which is getting some phenomenal reviews. The new indie like Meat Boy-ish platformer, but with a story. And Iconoclast looks super dope, so I'm hyped for that as well. And I'm just kind of hyped about all these January games in general because they're all like good and they look awesome. And fuck,
Cool.
yeah,
All right,
fuck you, Konami,
nice in there. Nolan.
and that Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Alrighty. My 4-player ministers now. My sweat is actually for Subnautica. Because I played that before the cast night. Holy fuck. That game is good, and I'm scared I don't want to say get addicted, but I mean, like, it's way better than what I played 3 years ago.
Dude, it's getting good reviews.
Yeah, I know. Which ties into I never even fucking got to touch underwater base building, which is a fucking thing.
Oh, it's so cool.
God damn it. Which kind of ties into my hype. One of my friends got a Vive not too long ago, and he actually has a room in his house that they never really use. It's bigger than this.
Now it's the Vive room.
And now they've
It's
turned
a
it into
holodeck?
yeah, they turned it into a Vive room. Yes. And so I'm pretty excited. I'm sure he wouldn't mind hanging out and playing some Subnautica in VR because it has a VR mode.
Shit,
Yeah,
really?
it has VR support.
Damn.
My fuck you is going to go to Persona 5, specifically after you've given the calling card and you go back into the dungeon and everyone's on fucking high alert. And the thing is, it respawns all the treasure. So I want to go back.
It does?
It respawns all the treasure. So I want to go back and grab all that treasure, but then there's fucking guys jumping out of everywhere. And even if you sneak up on a guy and get the ambush on him, as soon as the fight's over, often another guy will just randomly pop up. They like literally spawn in front of you and attack you, and that just fucking sucks when you get ambushed and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. I don't really have. I mean, another sweat for me, honestly, is Dragon Ball Fighters. I don't know what to do about this game. I fucking love Dragon Ball Z. Burnett and I are nearing the end of the Buu saga and are watching it.
Fucking Tien. Sorry.
Fucking Tien.
Yeah.
What about Tien?
No, he's in the game. He's dope.
He's in the Buu saga of Dragon Ball
He's
Z.
got his tri-beam.
Yeah.
He can like charge it up to like level 7 and do like tri-beam, like
Yeah.
what he was
When
trying to kill
Cell-
Nappa.
When he's pounding Cell
Or
on the
Cell,
ground.
Cell, Cell.
Oh, it was so
and,
good.
and like, but like it'll like destroy the enemy, but it'll take off like so much of his life bar.
Wow.
The more he does it,
Yeah.
it's fucking cool.
I'm gonna play this tomorrow.
I'm worried about. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna like just break down and get it or what. We'll see what happens. But I mean,
Krillin can throw Senzu beans.
Krillin can throw Senzu beans.
Yeah, as like kind of
when
there's
he's
so
like
much going
as like
on.
a support thing.
Yeah.
That's
The
interesting.
fucking Captain Ginyu fights with the whole Ginyu Force. So like different moves are
Yeah.
summoning like the Ginyu Force, and
God
he
damn
can
it.
swap, of course. And
Okay.
Stop talking about how good this game
Nappa
is.
summons Cyberman.
Fuck. Stop. God
All right, moving on. That's it.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah, that was it for me.
Crispy.
All right, my hype this week is for Monster Hunter World.
Fuck
It's
yes.
You're gonna get
dope. I'm gonna get it. Gonna get it late little birthday present to myself. My sweat is for Dragon Ball Fighters because I want to play it, but it's
We are on a podcast.
a fighting game.
Sorry, Bernadette, call me. They might be important.
Tien's level 3 is Chaozu appears behind like the enemy and blows up.
What?
Yeah,
Just
that's his level 3
That's
super.
the only thing Chaozu can do is self-destruct.
That's all Chaozu is good for, really.
It's the only thing I ever
It's
remember
so
him
sad
doing.
because it like zooms in all sad like before he dies
Yeah.
as part of the super.
I can't fucking wait, man. Fuck
Or no, what
you.
happens is after he blows up, Tien flips out as just part of the super animation. No, it's
That's
fucking.
awesome.
This game is off the
Fuck
chain,
this
guys.
game, man.
Chiaotzu was a much major character in Dragon Ball.
Guys,
So I was talking to Malia. I was like, because this game's coming out. I was like, I want to play. You want to watch some Dragon Ball Z, right? And I was like, I can't picture Dragon Ball Z, but I can get her to watch Dragon Ball
Why?
because it's a little less like, bro, I'm charging up an attack for 8 episodes.
Well, so hold on. So
watch Kai.
So Kai is a much reduced version,
Sure,
so that
I
doesn't
know.
happen. But I also will say that the story in Dragon Ball is
lighter.
It's a lighter story, and much more happens. Honestly, they're constantly going around and doing things. And I was actually talking about it with Bernadette because, like I said, we've been watching Kai. That almost every character in Dragon Ball Z used to be an enemy in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Like Yamcha, Chiaotzu, Tien, like everyone he hangs out with. Krillin was his fucking arch rival.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
even going into like Dragon Ball Super, like the androids are now like good
Yeah,
guys now. like-
Piccolo was like the big bad of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And it's just funny that like everyone that used to be bad is now Goku's like best friend.
My thank
Does
you.
Super pretend
God
GT
damn
doesn't
you guys.
exist?
Yes.
GT's not canon.
My thank you for this week goes to Piost for gifting me a copy of Total War Warhammer Total War.
What?
I don't know.
Total War Warhammer. Well,
One of
which way
those.
does it go?
I don't know.
Yeah. The Warhammer Total War game, which is what I've been interested to try ever since Joel showed it to us.
Yep.
So I don't know when I'm gonna have a chance to dig into it, but I will.
You're fucked.
And my fuck you for the week goes to the Oscars. Fuck you, Oscars.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck the Oscars.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele Get Out.
Yeah, I know.
Best Picture,
No, it's
Director, Writer.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But he don't need the fucking Oscars to validate how good that movie is.
True.
Fuck the Oscars.
It's a fact.
I was actually gonna say fuck the Oscars, and you stole it from me. All right,
You could say fuck EA.
I got another fuck you lined up. Don't worry. My fucking hype right now is I don't even so I don't know why, but like Subnautica is like tickling my balls real bad. I'm
Dude.
so happy.
It's so good.
I'm so happy that I didn't play this game and it was in early access, because now I'm gonna pop this in and I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be like I've
Nick,
never played a minute of it.
Here's the thing. According to Steam, I've played this game for 4 hours 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I barely remember anything of
I'm
it.
so like now
But
that it's
yeah.
like done and it's polished and it's like
it is
good,
so polished.
and people think that like this is getting great reviews. I'm so like I don't have time to play this shit, but I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it for next episode so I can talk about it, because I'm sure we'll be talking about Subnautica next week probably.
Oh, fuck yeah.
My second, I'm just gonna go do a bunch of hypes too probably. My second hype, first thing I did this morning, because I didn't want to get out of bed, I fucking watched a review for Monster Hunter World. Now I want to fucking play that shit. God damn! But I'm gonna wait. Until Krispy's had some time to dig into it and hear him talk about it, and then maybe make a decision, because I have no business playing another like huge fucking game like that.
Yeah.
Third hype, Mass Effect Andromeda. Like I said, I've been thinking about playing. I guess it's just been so long since I played a Mass Effect game too that like it's just scratching that itch, and I'm really enjoying the combat, and I'm enjoying the characters, and it's patched and it's nice. I'm enjoying it, so very much looking forward to playing more of that. And let's see what else. Well, now that y'all are talking about it, fucking fourth hype, Dragon Ball FighterZ, which I have a 4-day weekend ahead of me, and I totally forgot that's coming out tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm gonna get it in the mail tomorrow, so I'll probably play some of that. And just random fuck you, Brad. Shadow of the Colossus looks good.
Oh, I mean, I guess.
Brad's entitled to think it doesn't look
I know.
good.
I know!
Just as much as you were entitled to think it does look good.
Fuck you too, Nolan. You just added to my shit list.
Okay.
You know what? Fuck you, Krispy.
Fuck you, Nick. Fuck you, Nick.
All right. It was brought to my attention recently that somewhere along the lines on iTunes, our podcast lost the explicit tag.
Oh,
At
really?
the very least, you would agree to me
what?
that Shadow of the Colossus and Eco and Last Guardian have a certain distinct art style.
Sure.
Like a color palette, like a
Yes,
softness to the world.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm just a firm believer right now. I don't think this is going to be compromised in any way. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll take that fuck you back. And also, I'm just kind of kidding. Anyways, Brad, thank you for being here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you know what? On a more serious note, my fuck you to you is fuck you for actually making me want to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah.
I
mean,
that game looks colorful
it's
and
probably
kind
not
of just...
for you. I gotta be honest with you. That footage is not like an accurate representation of what that game actually looks. I mean, it looks great at times, but like I don't think you're gonna play it. I'm gonna be honest with
Well,
you.
now it sounds like a
I'm
personal
more-
challenge. Fuck you, Brad.
I'm more excited about you trying Subnautica.
I know. I'm
no,
going to.
damn it.
Trust me, I'm not going to rush out and buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but I'm definitely adding it to my list of things maybe to play when I have some time.
Dragon Ball Fighters isn't going to be in Redbox.
I know.
No,
That
it's
sucks.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
You can't red
guys,
box Monster
that
Hunter.
is our show. Thank you so much for sticking with us. 4playernetwork.com is, of course, the website where you can find all of our podcasts. You can watch us stream every single night on 4pp.tv. Every single night. In fact, we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary. Every single night we've got something on there.
God damn it.
Please, if you have not yet joined us, our Discord, we'd love to have you. It's free. Discord.gg/4player. Get in there. Have some fun. Talk to some people. We love hearing from anyone and everyone who wants to be a part of our community.
Join the gaming channel.
Well, yeah. Yeah, of course. That's probably the big one.
But mainly talk in general.
But mainly just talk in general. Doesn't matter where. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next Thursday night for another episode. We'll be talking Subnautica, Dragon Ball FighterZ, among other things, I'm sure. So we will see you then. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.